What is going on, chat? Hey. Welcome back to another Yap Fest. Another live stream Yap Fest. You guys don't get enough of my Yap Fest. Everybody that shows up every single week ain't getting enough of this Yap Fest. But what is going on? Welcome back. Abadur, how's it going? Hello. Spud Monkey, welcome. Kisa, this season of Mushoku Tensei needs to hurry up and finish? Like, are you waiting for it to finish to watch it? Is that what it is? Are you just sick of it already? I want to get rid of it already. I'm tired of seeing all the drama around it. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so you're a binge watcher. Me personally, yeah, there's like a sense of it wanting to be over with so that we don't have like the weekly like drama farming that's happening. Oh my gosh, look at the ratings on this site. It's going down. I don't care anymore. As I've said before, the Cape, what's going on? Welcome. Wondering what all this could be? The live stream? Don't have any expectations whatsoever. It's typically me responding to the chat. Last week, I couldn't keep up with it. That was crazy. Last week, I legit could not keep up with the chat. I had to finish the stream. It was a first time for me. I figured eventually it would happen. It happened to me with the comment sections. Like, I can't keep up with the comment section anymore. Like, literally, you getting, like, hundreds, if not thousands, depending on, like, how much viewership a video gets. Or, like, the videos get. Like, I can't keep up with it no more. Like, at some point, I had to admit to people, I'm sorry. I thank you guys. It helps with the algorithm. Every comment helps. But, like, I can't anymore. Like, it's just not happening. What is going on with YouTube right now? Is YouTube good? I did have some drop frames earlier already. Is today a bad day to stream? Wait, I already have 133 drop frames. YouTube, my little analytics thing here is going crazy. It's like, it looks like somebody's like EKG or something. Am I coming through? We good, chat? Are we good? Am I lagging? I even turned down my bitrate this week. You didn't even try it this time. You should have tried it. I turned down my bitrate just for the people that were going to Twitch for it. What I lose? It's fine. Okay, good. Would you lose? Would you all good on YouTube? In Australia, Austria. I did it again. My gosh, I am so I'm so sorry. My brain cannot help but read Australia. At least I caught it this time. Thank you, Kisa, for the 3 stream streak. I'm so bad, dude. I'm so bad. I am so sorry. I don't even know if that's like insulting or anything like that. It's just like for some reason, my brain, when I see AUST, bam, Australia. I think it's just like, it's a speed reading thing. Like you read so much, especially like my chat and stuff like that. I have to read really fast, and subtitles too. Reading subtitles very fast. You just kind of complete the words in your brain before you even read the whole thing. Mr. Worldwide was expecting that. He's like, yeah, another day. I was expecting it. Yeah, I knew you were gonna do it again. Aus is the abbreviation for Australia, so. I wish I could use that as an excuse. I think he's so much for giving me an excuse to use, but I don't even think I can use that. I don't think I could use that. Oh man. Anyways, what did I miss here? Hello, Astro. Welcome. Yashio, welcome. Henry, welcome. Definitely a drama in the end. So yeah, so I can watch it in peace. Right. Watch Mashiko Tensei in peace. Finally, Giant Ojo-sama news came out. I seen that. Yeah. I seen that. Yes, you're on point. Winter 2027. Hello, Sir Jordana. Welcome to the stream. I didn't even try you two at the time. What are those? Where'd I get? We had some chat about the stream. Want some good news about next ReZero episode? No. I don't want anything. Give me literally nothing. Literally nothing. I don't want anything. What just happened? What's happened? What is she saying? Arigato gozaimasu. Is that for the stream streak? What is she talking about? Thank you, whoever something. Oh, there it is. Arsal, thank you so much for the sub. I'm like looking everywhere. Every single one of my event feeds, and I can't find anything. What it was is on the Twitch end, I have a stream streak that is pushing down what just happened. So I just see the stream streak at the top, and I can't see there's a sub. I don't know why the stream streak takes it over. Unless you did it after it. That's what happened. Okay, there it is. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Anyways, speaking of Twitch, I'm glad that they've allowed me to have to manually opt out of AI training, and I couldn't do it for the longest time. I went into the settings, I went into the privacy area, and there was a little button that says, you are opted in to train AI with your streams. And I was like, why would I do that? Like, okay, cool, I'll turn it off. And I changed the tabs and I come back to see if it wasn't sticking. Every time I left the screen, I came back, it was back on. Like they were going, okay, he's gone, turn it back on. It's almost like, oh good, he's gone, turn the AI training thing back on. He'll never notice that was on. And then if later on he comes back, you just never turned it off. Apparently it takes a while to like apply. So like even though you turn it off, you have to wait for a bit and then it apparently stays off. I don't know. Not that I'm delusional or anything, don't get me wrong, I'm not delusional here. I'm fully aware of the fact that even if I turn that damn thing off, something else will train off my videos. Something else is going to train. Like you cannot keep the Pandora's box of AI has been opened. There's nothing keeping this shit from like being scanned from something or an AI somewhere else that doesn't have that opt-out, scanning your stuff and then feeding it to Amazon later on. They're all feeding each other. On anime news, but anyone happy for the NFL preseason is here, which means we're almost going to actual season. I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't ask me about football. I've been out of football for a long time. You can't at least the AT is the country code for Austria. Really? I don't think I've actually ever seen that. And right now, where is it? Which one? The setting under privacy and settings. Is that what you're talking about? The Twitch chat gets the more love nowadays. We see it now. the Twitch chat's overcoming. I've had a lot more Twitch chatting going on, and it's taken over. You guys have to fight each other over it. I'm not involved. You guys, whoever's victorious is victorious. I can't control it. Unless one of the sides, Twitch or YouTube, says I can no longer have it on the screen, then you get more exposure. First off, thanks. Second, I hate you. I am very thankful for your Mushoku Tensei read-through. I only have 50 hours left of your read-through of the main series. It was consumed the last 2 weeks of my life. Is this like a play thing where like you smack me and then you say thank you, or I say thank you and then you're welcome, I guess. I think you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it, question mark. I hope you're doing well. We good? No, it was funny because I got a DM. I'm not going to say who it is or anything, and I don't really care either way, but I got a DM the other day, and there's somebody that was talking about how they loved my content for Mushoku Tensei all the way up until 15. Loved it. And then after 15, he didn't like it. And I didn't really get what his complaint was, but it was like, okay. Like, I don't I don't know what to do with that. Like, I love your content for 15 volumes and the rest of it I don't like. I mean, it's done. Like, it's not like I'm like, am I supposed to, like, I don't know, check all of my VODs after 15 and try to find a common denominator and go, okay, don't do that again? I'm sorry. To be honest, I at some point realized I'm not going to make everybody happy. I think it was really around the Sylphie stuff that eventually at some point for my Mushoku Monday stuff, I realized I'm not going to make everybody happy. Like, there's going to be a group of people that I'm not as thrilled as a character for a character as much as other people are. I'm not seeing things the same way they are. I don't like the ending as much as other people do. There's certain things that I don't like that other people think are just amazing, and I'm not going to be fake. I don't want to be fake. If you don't like my reaction to it, I'm not going to make it into something that you're not, that is not there, is really, I'm going to be truthful. So, it's fine. It's fine. But again, I can't change it though. It's up. Like, if you don't like after 15, just don't watch it. Just don't watch it. It's good though. It's good though. Honestly, I can only log into Twitch these days to renew my Prime sub to your channel. YouTube is so much better. Thank you so much, Lucas. I really do appreciate that. To go out of your way to do that, for sure. It's a scam. Non-anime news. Twitch is superior. Damn, Kisa throwing down a gavel. You were searching that donation and didn't find where is it? There was a donation there? Hope you're well. Hello, Retla Moon. I'm gonna call you Moon. Thank you, Moon. Hope you're doing well. The recent ReZero chapter was really fun too. Can't wait for you to see it. The current one. Okay, yeah, it's gonna be a while. Summer Comic Con this week. Nice. Did you see MBS partnership with High Dive? Yeah, that's why I had it up on the screen. I know, shocker. That's why this is up on the screen. We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, hates it, so that's good comparison in time. Yeah, man, it's really good. No, hate my guy. I hate you because at this point it might have been easier to read it on my own, but your analysis is really good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's a lot of the later stuff I decided to start reading, especially the side stuff, and a lot of that was because there was no official release for them. So it's like fan translations. Not everybody can get access to them. You have to know somebody or something like that, get a translation, so I figured just read them all. Everything else beyond that is on them. Yeah, people won't get the Sylphies. I had a lot of fun with Sylphie. Like, the whole thing of, like, Sylphie's Unhinged video that I made, I found that stuff fascinating. The what-if scenario there that I kind of wish that Refugin did, really honestly. Can never please anyone, man. Just give... Well, you can please a lot of people, just not everyone. It's not anyone, it's just everyone. Just do you, yeah. I've always been that mindset. I don't want to be fake. Because when I'm fake, you can easily spot a fake. I think a lot of people are fooled by fakes, but I think you can, if you want to, you can easily spot a fake. It's a lot in inconsistencies. I can read people very well just by facial expressions. That's why I can't do reaction channels. I so easily can just see right through it. I've dealt with a lot of fake people in my life. I've had to do a lot of deals, I had to work with a lot of salesmen. I had to be for my last job, I had to sniff through a lot of bullshit. If you're doing several $100,000 deals for contracts, you have to smell bullshit. And so when somebody comes in my office and wants to sell me on something, I have to be able to read through it very, very quickly. So these people trying to get hundreds of $1,000s contracts, they're much better at hiding their expressions than a random reactor on YouTube. And so when I watch a reactor and I see their expressions and their reaction to things, I can smell BS very quickly. And it doesn't work for me. I think for a lot of people, it's fine. I think there is a lot of people that are perfectly fine, even though they know it's fake. They just like the goofy reactions. They like to go along with there's a show to it. Honestly, reactors, a lot of it is a show, and people enjoy that show. They enjoy their certain content creators because the show they give is entertaining. But for me, I can't do it. I just unfortunately can't do it. What's your opinion on Nippon Sangoku rating? The rating itself? What is the rating? Or are you asking what my rating is? I am curious what it ended up rated as. I would assume 7.8? 8.5? Are you for real? It did well. Wow. I don't agree with it. I'm like a 7. I'm probably like a 7. Like, when it hits so damn good. Like, this show is so good. When it's good, it's good. But whenever it's, like, doing the whole, like, you know, legit, when the show is around Otoro and Ryomon, Misomi and Ryomon, when these two are on screen, it's amazing. The show is amazing. But when there's anybody else on the screen, I don't care. That was the problem. Like, I didn't really care about Wajima. I didn't care. I think Taira is a really good villain character, but I'm kind of wondering how long that'll last. But this show is legit him. When Mitsumi's on the screen, he's working his magic. He's so freaking good, dude. He's so good. He's a logic fighter. And I think that logic is so cleverly done. It was like a 7 for me because he wasn't on the screen enough. No, it's not the ending. It's just the lack of Mitsumi. It's too much like they did this, and then this army did this, and this army did this, and then the army moved over here, and this army did this, and it's like I don't really care much about these characters that it's talking about doing this stuff with. I like your unhinged video. Thank you. I'm on the superior site now. Inevitable Dev, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Well, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, yours. Yeah, I'm like a 7. Recently, I can't watch VTubers react right now because they talk like they have been living under a rock. And they have a VTuber that knows stuff, so it's very stupid. VTuber reacts. I mean, one of these days I might do a VTuber react. It's like the new in right now, right? Nippon Sangoku is that good. I'm fine with the rating, by the way. I actually want it to be higher because I want this show to be successful because I think it's doing such unique stuff. But me personally, I needed a little bit more. Those episodes that were kind of hard to get through. It's a 9 for me. I watched it recently and it is. Is that 7 because of the ending? No. But then it's not so good. I don't know. I like Majima. Are you caught up with Elusive Samurai? I'm not, no. I'm not sure that I will. I wasn't like a huge fan of the first season. I mean, he isn't an action guy, right? Are there any 10s from this year that you've given? I don't think so. Question mark. I don't think so. Maybe ReZero. Yeah, ReZero might. Yeah, ReZero will probably end up being. I think that's pretty much it, though. What's up, Cheto? Elandra just got home. Our car has some electric issues and got the biggest scare. Man, this being sick yourself is easier than having to worry about the car with those prices, right? I hope things work out, man. That sucks. That sucks. Like, even just a battery anymore is, like, so freaking expensive, dude. Like $400 or something like that, if I remember correctly. Last time I had to replace a battery. It's like, ugh. I had to say it, but Magica had inexplicable... Alright, just had to say it. Can't wait for Mushoku Tensei episode 8, right? It's getting better. Like, from here on, it's gonna be crazy, dude. I like listening to your novel analysis videos almost like an audiobook, especially the background when they play Minecraft, your video, volume 16 part. Thanks for keeping up all the streams on the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Yeah, it sucks that it's over. Like, for those who don't know, the Mushoku Monday novel series, I mean, as if things do come out, like redundancies or whatever that he might end up doing that do some new content, I will cover those, but for right now, technically, Mushoku Tensei novel series analysis is over. It's done. This Monday, we had a live stream. We sat down and talked about, like, all full-on spoilers. It was a great stream, by the way, and I was almost tempted to not do this live stream just because I did a live stream there, which I typically do a premiere. I was thinking about not doing a live stream this week just because of that, but here we are. But it was good. It was good stuff. Towards the end there, we did like I played my clips that I got from like all the way up to like 24, 23, volume 23, and it was really good. And I didn't want to, I legit didn't want to end the stream. I got to the point where I called it quits, and I went to the ending screen, and I just didn't want to stop it because it was like the chat. All the comments from the chat were just incredible. And 4 years and 4 month journey to finally have that over. So it was cool. It was really cool. Opinions on World's Dancing. Don't have any opinions yet. That's one that I'm still technically getting caught up on. It was a fun stream, yeah. This season has a lot of shows. Probably wait for them to end so you can watch them. I want to see World is Dancing, Dodge Donko, Jadagar, and a couple more. Yeah. Jadagar's really good. I got Nakamura-kun and Nippon Sangoku at a 10. Wow. Wow. And your Polar Opposite Season 2 so far. Polar Opposite Season 2, it has an opportunity of that, yeah. I really do like Polar Opposites. I'm not sure if I'm that, but 10? 10's gotta be really good for me. I don't give around 10s very easily, so... ReZero Second Core will be great. I'm worried about it when Season 5 comes out. Hopefully not another 4 years. Also wondering how it will be adapted. Yeah. It's probably going to be a while before we get Season 5, for sure. Did you enjoy ReZero coming back? Yes. I got my video up for it. Really, really enjoy it. Shoot, yesterday was incredible because we not only was ReZero coming back, and it wasn't the best episode of the season so far. I really like it, though, because Melee... But, like, it wasn't, like, insane. But, like, we had that episode coming back, or ReZero coming back. And then we also had Tiny the Evil. I think it was easily the best episode of the series so far. Like, that was a good episode, dude. Like, it was on point with everything. Some of the combat sequences was, like, you know, just a lot of zooping around. It wasn't really, like, a strategy. It didn't feel like a strategic fight happening. No choreography that was really happening. It was, like, a lot of just soups. But, like, Zetor, dude. Zetor was freaking great, dude. I love Zetor's character. That was so good. Hope the Chikawa movie comes out. Heard it was good. Saivik at its A game. Yeah. What's up, John? Open stream. I'm glad I still got 10 more volumes of Mushoku Monday streams to watch. And it's going to be over. Like, eventually it's gonna catch up to you. It's going to catch up to you eventually. Check out From. It's a TV show. It's pretty good. Probably up your alley. I have to check it out. Tanya wasn't amazing. It was. Yeah, I was going to mention this the other day. Like, they had quite a bit of stuff coming out. We obviously had here recently the whole stuff around Crunchyroll and Sony doing a lot of stuff that's got a lot of people concerned about the future of, like, physical media. And obviously Monopolies with the fact they're shutting down. They both shut down the Right Stuff store. And now they're... my opinion, they're going to shut down the Crunchyroll store. I think what Crunchyroll store is currently is going away. They're trying to do some weird way of making it seem like they're not closing the store by saying it's still open, but only exclusivities. I think they're shutting it down. Like, I don't think Crunchyroll as a store is sticking around. Young, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. But, anyways, that stuff happened. I will recommend to people, for those that don't know yet, or don't watch it, Quest for the Best. They do some really good stuff, analysis and whatnot of certain shows. They talked a little bit about the Crunchyroll. It was in their episode they were talking about the Crunchyroll store shutdown, and they went into a lot of stuff, like including license stuff like that. I think a lot of the perspective from Miles there is really good. I think it's really good. I think a lot of what I feel about the decision making by Sony and Crunchyroll is sort of echoed by him, and he puts it into really good terms. And he also has a lot of good insight into the industry. So, I mean, he literally worked at Crunchyroll. So when it comes to like licenses and stuff like that, he kind of was there. So he kind of knows, what he's talking about. You might not agree with him all the time. I know a lot of people have issues with him because of his stance against piracy. But overall, he knows what he's talking about. Like, literally, he runs a company that looks at statistics. Like, that's literally what their job is look at the market and give statistic information to companies. Companies come to them to buy information, so he's got the information. I don't always agree with the information, especially how certain information comes out of data, but it's good information. But anyways, that aside, he's got like some pretty not uncomfortable truths. I keep saying that a lot. Reality checks that I think a lot of people don't want to hear, especially when it comes to like licensing, which I completely agree with him. I like when at some point they brought up, Blood Bucket Battlefront and all these other shows coming off Crunchyroll, when it's like, nobody's watching them. I mean, yes, I agree the idea that they should announce whenever they're dropping stuff, but it makes sense that the people that communicate to the fans, which is social media, that team doesn't communicate with, the licensing team and the lawyers when it comes to licenses dropping. The licensing dropping goes immediately to the server team to tell them to take it off the server, and it never gets to the social media team to announce to people that it's coming down because it was long over expired and they had to get it off the server once they discovered it. There's like this problem with big corpos that they don't talk to each other anymore. Crunchyroll, when it was very small, it was very much so, focused on growth. And how do you grow? You get customer goodwill. So they had this very close connection with the fans because they wanted to grow as a company. So they were always communicating. But now that they're part of Sony, you're seeing like this branching out of all these different groups of Crunchyroll into probably a lot of elements of Sony. A lot of people taking over Crunchyroll from Funimation that don't understand how Crunchyroll runs. And so you're having this lack of communication that's happening. The lawyers don't talk to the social media people. The social media people don't talk to the data people. There's a lack of communication, thus the fans don't hear anything anymore. And so that's really where a lot of the lack of communication comes from when it comes to the lack of, or the losing of different licenses and stuff like that. So I definitely agree with him when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, a lot of the failures of like Crunchyroll as a company when it comes to the store, I don't know that they really, Miles and all them, I don't really think that they are seeing it really for what it is. This idea that Crunchyroll itself is, they're pivoting away from a storefront. For the longest time, they wanted to be a store, and I think because they were shipping so much out of Right Stuff, they decided to buy Right Stuff so they can now have them a distributor. And then when they realized they weren't making as much money as they wanted, they're axing off that part. But the transition that everybody sees is happening is going to this plan where if you want to buy from the Crunchyroll store, you have to be a mega plan, the higher tiers of their subscription in order to have access to it. And you'll have exclusive deals. That is my belief. I think that's a front for them to transition into. The best way I can put it is almost like a loot box kind of system. Like, they're not going to be a full-on store. I think they're legit shutting down the warehouse. They're not going to have a massive stock of manga and stuff like that, because if you put it behind a subscription, nobody's going to buy all that stuff. You can't have a bunch of manga and stuff in your store when a lot of people can't even access the store. It's probably going to transition into every month they will get a limited stock of like 50 items, and then people will be able to buy those 50 items. And then 2 months later on, they will get a stock of 50 more items, and they will put up on the store, here's the new exclusive monthly item, buy this stuff. Yeah, collectors only items. Like, these are not, this is not going to be you log in and you see a store of thousands of goods and a bunch of deals. This is going to be, you'll have a front screen that says, here's the monthly deals. And it's going to have like 15 items. And that's it. There's not going to be a search button. There's not going to be a massive catalog to go through. It will be, this is your special items to buy this month. And I think it's going to be geared around milking the biggest people. And that way they'll have like this, I didn't want to call it like a loot box kind of thing, but it could be basically called like a Crunchyroll box thing. This is this week's stuff. Be the ultimate weeb because we got the cool exclusives from Japan. Look, there's Japanese writing on this box. That means it's exclusive from Japan. I think that's where it's going. It's not going to be a full storefront. And I think everybody thinks it's going to be that. I don't think so. I think they want to downsize. That Grimes, Iowa, the Grimes, Iowa shop, that's closing down. They never had it to begin with. Like, they never bought that warehouse, which I don't see them wanting to do that. It's easier to lease it. That's like when that news came out, I was like, that's normal. Like, the companies I work for, they never own their warehouses. There was no reason to. Why would you want to own that building when you might outgrow it? You have to worry about maintenance and stuff like that. No, you rent it out. Miles was a weeb from Crunchyroll. Dude, he was. I really did respect him. Communicated with him a lot when it came to the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. He had a big passion for making that. That's why I always said when that whole news came out, not this one, but the previous Anime Awards, that they weren't doing like potentially not doing a judge voting. I felt bad for Miles when he was like all crushed there. I'm like, this guy loved that whole Anime Awards, and he did a lot to like build it up. He wanted the best for it. Miles sees the value in like the fans, like making a connection with the fans. Honestly, I've been using AmiAmi, pretty good deals. I get my statues from currently trying to get Yashio statue. Yeah, AmiAmi's amazing. I've always used AmiAmi for figures. The only problem now is, of course, with a lot of the costs and shipping, but like they are really great. They are really great. I've gotten pretty much all my stuff. Even with like the increased cost when the tariff stuff was happening, it was still cheaper than buying them from like, any sort of importers. Sadly, never used Right Stuff at its heyday. Dude, that sucks. To not experience the greatness that is Right Stuff is gut punch right there, dude. Over Zero novel ends reaching 45 minutes. I'm not sure. I've heard a lot of people say that's like it's still got more arcs to go. That's why I tell people all the time, if his show is taken off, it means people aren't watching it. No point in paying money for something that nobody's watching. That was the other good point he made. Again, shout out to Miles on Quest for Best. That was the other good point that he made. It's not just, I think he made this point. I heard a part of it, and I assume that's what he was talking about. The other big thing to recognize, and this is something that I experienced when I was talking, and I was looking into a lot of like video game stuff as well back in the day. It's not just Crunchyroll evil company doesn't, pay up for an increased license. In a lot of cases, it's the company that's they're licensing from. It's both the licensee and the licensor. Like, there is a problem with not only, them not wanting to keep paying for it to be in the different regions. They might go to the actual, like, the company that owns a license, and it's not even worth them getting out of bed. Like, these companies, these producers in Japan are literally like, no, I don't even want to bother going. I don't even want to bother signing the check and taking it to the bank because it's not enough money. Like, the value of it is too low to pay too much for the license to keep it going because nobody's watching it. And the company that is going to sell you the license, they don't even care enough to sign the check. They're like, no, we're busy. We're busy for the new show that's going to make us a fortune. We don't care about coming to the table for you about this show. It's nice whenever you can get a bundle or something like that. But like, for the most cases, these companies don't care. And plus, you also have the problem with a lot of companies having the rights to it that you have to go to individually to communicate to. It's not just one person that's selling out the license. It's a lot of moving parts, dude. It's a lot of moving parts that people don't really, unfortunately, see. Not again that I like this, by the way. I don't like that these things disappear. Noragami is back on Crunchyroll. Nice, nice. I would agree because it looks like they're not restocking manga or even doing pre-orders for the new manga, such as Full Metal Panic Family, even if the Impress lists them. Said, mark my words. Mark my words. I'm gonna be very. I don't have the big plan. Like, I have the basic plan for Crunchyroll. I am actually tempted that when that comes around to sign up to see that store. I'm sure people are gonna post about it, but I'm gonna have to go there just to see myself. Was it coffee? Coffee, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Also, Ghost in the Shell is so good. It's so good, dude. It is so good. I've been loving this adaptation. Unlike Mushoku Tensei, which has been a finished novel, an anime adaptation that only covered about half of the novel. What are your expectations for the finale of Mushoku Tensei? I don't want to talk about that because it's spoilers, so I'll just leave it there. This is a chat, not expecting everybody here to know the novel series. Mouse says I'm a realistic, pessimistic. Has a more realistic, pessimistic, which is a thing of work. He's seen some stuff. He's seen a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Collector's items only, yeah. Honestly, I really hope one day Japanese companies, they cut the middleman and do on their own streaming service shops for global, a la Abima and Mandarake equivalents, but for global. Yeah, I would like that too. But again, the expectation there is, of course, it's Sony, right? Sony's doing that. Sony's a Japanese company, so it would be, my hope would be that it would be a consortium is a proper word there? It would be a collective of multiple companies. Daisuke was kind of doing that for a bit, but unfortunately nobody supported it. But I would hope that it would be like a combination of multiple companies coming together to say, hey, let's provide it, not just Sony. Because Sony being like the only one, technically Sony is letting Crunchyroll do the work for them, which is the disconnection from a Japanese company, but still. It seems like Sony's getting more and more involved with Crunchyroll, which is unfortunate side of this whole thing. So that the lead Crunchyroll had on the industry and how lazy, complacent they are. Had on the lazy. Sad the lead Crunchyroll had the lead it had on the industry and how. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I read that wrong. Sorry. Sort of agree. Yeah, I sort of agree. You think smaller shows won't get love from the store anymore? I just think they're not gonna be there. I legit don't think they're gonna be there. They're probably gonna have like a bunch of like obscure Japanese stuff that looks Japanesey. Yeah, shipping. Hello Girlfriends is a 100 out of 10. ReZero, Mushoku Tensei, Slime, Bleach, Dying Day, Saga Time, Grand Blue, Polar Opposites, Behind the Supermarket, Livid Princess, Clavitas, Chainsmoker, Hell Mode, Card 9. It's a lot of 9s, dude. It's a lot of 9s. Seems that anime seems that the anime ReZero will end in 2046. I don't think so. I think it'll be later than that unless they start pumping out this stuff faster. Inevitable, thank you so much for the biddies. Thank you. My gosh, I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for making me finish. But I like how you're paying me for forcing you to finish Mushoku Tensei. I would have never finished it myself and waited for the anime for years. Lol. I appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoyed the content. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you. See the animes. I cannot imagine people are not watching Black Lagoon and it's Funimation. Again, the numbers speak for themselves. Like, again, I would trust. I've always had a feeling that nobody's watching older shows on Crunchyroll and all these other sites. Like, legit, most people are caught in the now. Is the main thing to remember. People are caught in the now. Whatever's on the front page. Let me hold on a second. Get a visual representation of what we're talking about here. I think visuals. Whatever. Can you grab it? Whatever's on this page is what people watch. You come to Crunchyroll, this is what you see, this is what you watch. People are in the now. Whatever people are discussing, whatever they're talking about right now, that's what people are watching because they want to be in the discussion. People are talking about this show, I want to watch that show. Nobody's talking about Black Lagoon. You might have a friend that says, hey guy, you should check out Black Lagoon, but in most cases people are watching whatever's on the front page, whatever's the current season. And I always had that feeling, but then again, Miles, who legit looked at the data, Miles worked for Crunchyroll. He's seen the data. He knows what people are watching. He's seen exactly and said exactly what I was thinking. Nobody's watching him. Nobody's watching anything but the current shows. And then you look at the data that shows, like, for piracy sites. What shows are people watching on those sites? They're watching the new shows. They're not watching the old shows. Yeah, there's probably, he probably is a little bit, going a little bit extreme there. There's probably one person in, like, 3 months that watched Black Lagoon. But most people, they probably are not watching that. People want the now, unfortunately. Does I literally get to see Japan a midstream ad? WTF? Cool. They're listening to what we're talking about. The ReZero novel is up 2 more big arcs, and official English translation is way behind. So wait if you're reading the physical books. Yeah, that's why I'm moving over to A Sentence Bookworm mostly. That'll be our next one to cover. Yes, no spoilers, please. Yeah. Hey, Bubba, how's it going? Doing well. How are you? Sonny really wants to be an only child. Is that what you're saying? Fur is meh. Damn. Gospel comes in here and just drops a bomb. Hey, by the way, Frieren is meh. Only way I'll actually read it to be a show that gets canceled like they did with Air Gear. My gosh, Air Gear takes me back. What the hell? Like, bring up like some random old shows that I have nostalgia for. The OP for Air Gear is so good, dude. Hey, Andrew, I see that you have a lot of favorite anime. That it's 10. Can you do over 50 characters that your favorite? Well, can I do over 50 characters that are my favorite? You want me to do a list of 50 characters that are my favorites? That would take some time, dude. I'd have to go through all these shows and look for all my favorite characters. That would be fun, though. I waste like 30 minutes trying to send this on YouTube. Twitch is better. You couldn't send that message on YouTube? Really? I'm glad you sent it. I appreciate it. I remember, like, in Like Daisuke, I believe big 2 reasons for them not surviving was the no dubs and 2 nothing exclusive. Didn't they have a dub of Iron Blood's Orphans? No, maybe not. Yeah, I don't see them having dubs. Because, again, they were like, if I remember correctly, they were a consortium of, like, Sunrise and stuff like that because they had Gundam. They're like a combination of a bunch of Japanese companies. I don't think they really had much for, like, a Western front to do dubs. And that's, again, what I would expect from a group of Japanese companies to do their own distribution, is they're probably going to stick to the safest bet, which is going to be subtitles. Which is not going to be very appealing to the broader audience, honestly. And like you said, yeah, it technically will affect their reach because a lot of people watch dubs. Do you remember when when I said last week that I wanted to see more moments from characters like Lilia and Priscilla? I'm glad they did give space to them in the last episode. Yeah. Your new episode was good. I'm really liking the group friendship blossoming. Yeah. Nice little reset to it, honestly. Should I watch Bookworm, then switch, or just read from the get-go? Gotta catch up with a sense of Mondays. Oh, Mind Mondays? Yeah, if you're gonna join us for Mind Mondays, yeah, I would start reading. Because from what I understand, there's a lot of skip content. I mean, I'll be covering a lot of the skip content, but either way that you want to actually, enjoy the content, reading with it or through the actual Mind Mondays. Hey there, I'm not so much into anime, but the one that caught my eyes was Mushoku Tensei, and I fell in love with it, and even more after I saw the skip content videos. Thank you for them. Thank you, Speedy. Glad you enjoy them. Yeah, there's nothing like Mushoku Tensei. Honestly, there's nothing like it. Definitely kind of hits different. What was the stupid thing Rudius ever did? Episode 1. Well, technically it's episode 2 you see it, but yeah, from the get-go. Like, the opening sequence is probably one of the more egregious things. To be honest, there's one show that I'm surprised Crunchyroll picked up fairly recently, and that is Dean Angel. It's a great show and it has quite an old show. Yeah, that's for things like that. Honestly, I think it's a lot to do with, like, again, bundle deals, where they kind of go, hey, can we get that too? Or they go, hey, can you take this too? Like, there's sort of like a bundling of stuff. There can also be sub-licensing that they're picking up at the time. Another company that's distributing in the West gives it to them to use. It's cool stuff. I like that stuff. Do you have a favorite openings of this year? My two favorites are Skins and Champion Witch. Slime OP right now is a freaking banger, dude. I do like ReZero's OP, but I think Slime was like the biggest surprise to me. I really like that one. It's really good. Are you excited for the Made in Abyss movie? Yes. I gotta rewatch it here soon. I'm gonna be rewatching it here soon. I gotta remind myself everything about Made in Abyss right now. I started reading the manga adaptation of Bookworm. I haven't heard too much about the manga adaptation. I've heard they skip a lot, but I haven't really heard too much. Not locking Sarah down as wife. Rip, right? I agree a lot on ReZero. I think a lot more sense and satisfying to be being able to be Subaru, actually solve the problems for what happened in Core 1. I think it's more the sense of satisfaction to be able to see him actually. Oh, yeah. Since Roxy's your favorite character, what are some of the catches that you catch your eye or love as much? What are some that catches you, like some other characters? I have like a mix. Like I do really feel like a lot of characters that I like have different personalities, so I don't know that I necessarily have like a commonality across it. I do like strong characters that have personality. I don't like too submissiveness. I know there's a massive appeal to that, and I do like it sometimes, but like there's like a middle area that I like, honestly. Hey man, popping late. What's going on? Doing well. How you doing? Just doing a yap stream. Nothing really kind of. I have a couple points I want to cover, but for the most part, we're just yapping. As usual, just yapping. I haven't heard the second Slime OP. It was good. It's good, dude. Go check it out. One is so long for new Made in Abyss content. It's painful. Yeah, they pretty much caught up, right? They pretty much caught up. I think when the second season ended, there was like 3 chapters out. Like, I read them and like, okay, we're not really far enough to get anything else. But it was surprising because they announced like more coming like right after. Which again, my assumption there was that they know where they're going with the story. They just haven't drawn it yet. I miss it either. Which series are you going to start now? Bookworm. Yeah, Bookworm. Do you like Zenoba? Yes. I love Zenoba. Zenoba's like best bro. Like between him and Cliff as like friends for Rudius, I think Zenoba's my favorite. Yes, Asuka enjoyer. I'm a definitely an Asuka enjoyer. I actually did like Rei Ayanami back in the day. But over time I became an Asuka enjoyer. Like I for some reason I just transitioned over. When Mind Monday is going to start, probably going to give it a month at least. I thought about potentially waiting until Mushoku Tensei ended. That way I don't have like an insane schedule. I can take a breather. But I might actually wait. Plus I got recently informed that I'm going to be doing jury duty. So got it sprung on me here recently that I got to do jury duty. So that's going to be a question mark there as well. What that's going to be about. Always love how the government just out of nowhere says, "Oh, you're up. Come on, time to go." To put aside your schedule for this. No questions. Don't question it. Is the Made in Abyss going to be original now? No, it's supposed to be covering content that it's going into now. Like if you look up the characters, they're all technically in the current story that's been adapted so far, or been printed. Is there really nothing like Mushoku Tensei? I wanted to watch something like it, but couldn't find anything that felt like it first when I saw. There's stuff like Mushoku Tensei, but they're not isekai. It's hard to find isekais that are going to be delving into some very difficult subjects and tough characters. You'll typically have to look into like seinens and whatnot of different stories. And unfortunately, a lot of seinens don't get adapted. You have to just find the source materials and read those. Like, I mean, the one that always pops in my head that I was joking about a long time ago for Bind to cover, because it felt like Bind was doing nothing but adaptations of, you know, unsettling or uncomfortable truth type stories. I wanted them to cover Inside Mari. Again, Inside Mari is a very adult and very mature and very, in a lot of cases, gross story that hits some very tough subjects that is similar to like Mushoku Tensei. So there's other stories out there that are just not being adapted because anime likes to adapt stories that are shonen focused demographics, and shonen focused demographics don't touch mature content. So what's up, P Fletcher? Welcome. Monday was a long stream, but it felt like it was over too fast, right? I didn't want to end it, dude. I legit did not want to end it. Can you sell Bookworm to me? I didn't get me hooked too much. For the most part, my basic on A Sense of Bookworm is a lot to do with Mind's character. I find her to be both a selfish but also selfless character that I enjoy seeing her growth. I enjoy sort of the elements they get into with, you know, the discovery that, like, you know, Lutz has with her identity, getting into the devouring that she's dealing with, how it cripples her, yet her striving to reach something that she wants, and ultimately turning into a story that I think is the bigger concept, which is separation. From the beginning, there is an element of separation from her previous family. Then there's a separation with her new family. There's a separation with her new point in the church. Then there's a separation into nobility. Like, it's a story about like separation and overcoming that separation and loss. So it's been a lot of my hooks, I guess, in a nutshell. Again, I've enjoyed her as a character and the personality there. A lot of the side characters, well, Ferdinand's are very brutal look into the current society that she is being guided by, that I do find very fascinating. And I've heard that a lot of the content's been skipped, so I'm looking forward to getting into the actual book to find out what's in there. I forgot to ask important Mushoku Tensei question. What would you add or do differently? Like the story? My only real problem that I've had, and this is not a spoiler, the only really problem that I had really with the later parts, not really a spoiler, but I guess you can see it as a spoiler. I'm not going to get into specifics. The only problem that I had with later on was that Refugin gets away from characters. And my draw to Mushoku Tensei has always been characters. So that's my most like surface level response to not upset anybody. Being able to enter is very similar to Mushoku Tensei. I didn't feel that. I mean, it plays out similarly at the very beginning, like the whole like Buena Village kind of thing there, but like I find the characters to be vastly different. They are vastly different characters. One's a conquering lord, and the other one is a disgusting, you know, shut-in. It's just, like with the beginning of the end, what I read of Tabat, it's a lot to do with like a very heartless person discovering heart, and I didn't feel like it played out very nicely. For me personally, it didn't connect with me. It felt eh. Sound that you are a weeb and you'll be voted out of the jury selection. No, you legit, I know the trick. You just got to go in there and say that you're going to be biased. You legit go in there and tell them that you're biased, and then you get out of it. That is if you don't want to do your civic duty. I don't want to tell people not to do their civic duty, but like, if you're busy, just say, yeah, I'm going to be biased. Faraway Paladin is a good show. I really like Faraway Paladin when I've watched of it. What do you think about the uncensored nudity in anime, not for sexual purposes, depicting raw reality or artistic view? I like it. I especially find beauty in... What was the term that I had a while back? It's essentially ecchi that is just... It just happens. I like that sort of raw aspect of it just happens. Like, yeah, it's like the person that falls over and you see the panty shot. Not necessarily that, but just that stuff happens. When a character's falling from a high place, you're going to see something. That kind of stuff. There is sort of like an element of being pulled out of reality when something like defies gravity because they're so badly not wanting anything to show. Speaking on adapting seinens, I wonder why they're sitting on Vinland Saga for so long. I'm not sure. Probably just scheduling. They probably want a good studio, probably good scheduling. A lot of it has to do with scheduling with certain studios. Is there a character that you love and hate now? Is there a character that you hate but now love? Asuka. I just mentioned it. And I kind of don't really like Rei that much anymore. I don't hate her, but like I just don't like her as much as I used to. And again, I think it's a lot to the fact that I'm not like too much into submissiveness anymore, and Rei was a very submissive character. Mishkuten is a man, reincarnated as a boy. Who will he fight? Bookworm is a woman, reincarnated as a girl. Who will she marry? Guess, sure. But no, like Bookworm's a lot to do with like a person dealing with a not so nice world. It does a lot of things similarly as Mushoku Tensei, with a society that's not equal. There is a hierarchy system. The nobles are the ones that like reign over the commoners. If the commoners step out of line, the nobles can kill them. That kind of stuff. It's a lot about the society itself and her having to kind of deal with it. Having her have to do some things that are very uncomfortable. Punishing commoners because they stepped out of line. That kind of stuff is fascinating to get into. I connected with Mushoku Tensei as I remember at a time I was underemployed and for a bit neat. It is normal to be attracted to tsunderes the older you get. you start to want somebody to beat you around a little bit and play a little hard to get. One of the best examples of non-sexual nudity, that a real story, is anime mix of shorts. The artist who painted her sister nude and displayed at school was in the anime mix. It's called Mix of Shorts. Interesting. Freedom of expression, in my opinion, makes anime, manga, and the older Japanese art form. I recommend Japanese horror. It makes it special, so it's good. Ritsuko. Dada-san's been funny. Speaking of non-sexual nudity, most of my stuff should be uncensored and unapologetic. It's been unapologetic since Tezuka days, and especially with Go Nagai, Monkey Punch, and Yoshida Brothers. Yeah. It seems like a lot of like Japanese broadcasts have been changing a lot of that stuff too, which is unfortunate. But again, it's a lot to their own rules. Just like Rei, but Asuka, I guess, has all the aspects of peak waifu except the overtones and yeah, I still think that Asuka herself is a little bit is still abrasive, and like her obsession with, what was his name, Toji? No, it's not Toji. Is it Toji? What's his name? It's a bit much. But that was sort of what that story did a lot play with, was the adults and the children and how they like intermingle. There's an admiration there. Kaji, yes, thank you, Kaji. There's an obsession with her. She likes older men. And he kind of plays into it. But I found like Asuka's story to be had a lot of depth to it. Whereas I think Rei is more kind of attached to, spoilers, other characters. One thing I'm missing from Monday is Gino. Seeing Gino fanboy over Edis explains why it becomes youngest and longest. Okay. Again, be careful with the spoilers in chat, by the way. Be careful with Mushoku Tensei spoilers in chat. Keep it to anime only. They're talking about Tatsuko Fujimoto. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. But no, I was going back to what I was talking about earlier. Finishing my train of thought here that I started getting to before the chat started taking over. But with the discussion of, I think, everything that's happened with Crunchyroll, I think a lot of people are currently looking into alternatives. I thought about like getting together with some people, or at least listening to some feedback from folks to try to see if I can get together something of a, alternatives. I thought about reaching out to groups like Ocean Vale, seeing if they want to do something, collaborate or something like that. I do want to start. I do want to start getting back into pushing alternatives, and I've pushed like High Dive in the past. I've been a long-time supporter of High Dive, as much as I acknowledge a lot of their issues. I've supported High Dive mainly around the idea that I don't want it to just be Crunchyroll, and people hated me for it because they wanted the idea of whatever's on High Dive to be on Crunchyroll. I hate subbing up for High Dive. Yes, there's the issue, obviously, that some people can't even access High Dive. Let's be clear there. That's a thing. I'm not talking about that. A lot of people don't like the idea of supporting High Dive because they don't want High Dive to sub to High Dive for like 2 shows, and they want 1 sub. Well, we're seeing the after effects now of what that means. For those that just want Crunchyroll, this is the after effect. Is now Crunchyroll has a control, and they're confident. Sony in the past has always had an issue with feeling confident and then doing stupid things. We've seen it with PlayStation 3. PlayStation 2 did incredible. What did they do? Let's fuck it up with PlayStation 3. We got confident, and now we feel like you like us so much, you're going to get 2 jobs to buy this console. This, what was it, times $700, something like that? They get confident and then do stupid things. And they break all that goodwill. And then they screwed that up, but then they came back later on and they kind of rode on a train of like ownership. If you want to share your games, come to PlayStation 4 because you can share games by just handing it to somebody else. Then they got popular. And now Sony's a big dog again for PlayStation, and then guess what they do? They fuck it up again. Now we're getting rid of physical media. This is a common thing with Sony, is they build up customer goodwill and they screw it up. And they're doing it with Crunchyroll. We're becoming the big dogs. Everybody's coming to us for anime, and now we're going to F it up. They always do this. They always get the customer goodwill, and they F it up. And so that's why I always kind of supported groups like High Dive, because not that I find them to be the best company, and they do have a lot of garbage problems. They can't get good unless they're supported. I think they did sort of squander a lot of what they got with Ocean Co. I wish that they would have reinvested it better. But we don't really have any other options now besides, again, showing some support to Amazon through their anime, showing support on Netflix with their anime, and Ocean Vale. There's other groups as well, like Retro Crush and stuff like that you can support as well, but it does look like, surprisingly enough, High Dive is still in the game. I legit wasn't really sure if they were going to make it to fall for the Sword Dotaru, but apparently they're now investing more into MBS, which this is a thing that's been around for a while now. For those that don't know, quite a while back, High Dive went to MBS, Mainichi Broadcasting. They went to Mainichi Broadcasting Systems a while back, and I think it was when Heretical Last Boss first was coming out, because I know that during the announcement of them partnering up with Mainichi Broadcasting, their first thing was Heretical Last Boss. But it didn't really feel like much. It was either like a partial partnership, or Mainichi wasn't fully investing in a lot of the stuff, because barely anything came from it. Like, we had Heretical Last Boss. I think Ragna Crimson was on High Dive. I don't even think they got Tear Moon. They got instant death ability, I believe, but like barely anything that was coming out of Mainichi was really High Dive. Dungeon People, I think, was. Like, most of this stuff ended up going to either Amazon or Crunchyroll. So I'm curious if this new agreement is. They said it's expanding. Partner for a new multi-year exclusive output agreement. AMC Global describes High Dive's largest thing. Under the agreement, High Dive will exclusively simulcast MBS upcoming slate of anime covered by a deal across territories outside Asia. It's basically, again, United States, Canada, as well as UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand. Again, not global, unfortunately, still. And Nia is going to be one of them. I don't know, maybe it'll be more this time, but it's surprising that, again, they're still keeping in the game, at least. Thanks for the hydrate. Hope you're doing well, Kike. Is it Kike or is it Kaiki? Kaiki? Kai? Can I call it Kai? But yeah, it's curious more of, again, the idea that I think a lot of us were expecting that high dive was going to slowly kind of die away, but this is kind of a sign they're keeping in it. And yeah, that's true, Astro. MBS isn't really like a big player. I mean, if you look at what they're currently producing, and again, a lot of this stuff isn't going to be theirs alone. A lot of this stuff is going to be partial production. They don't own all these titles. These aren't like the greatest things ever. a lot of it's not like the biggest things ever. And again, a lot of these are like the big ones, like Dun-Dun. They don't have control over. They don't have control over Jujutsu Kaisen. They're probably small people on the pie. Yeah, even in Isekai Oji-san, did you Isekai Oji-san? Missed it. There's plenty of 70s, 80s, 90s anime. There's also that. Yeah, again, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier. How many people are actually watching that stuff? But I highly recommend checking out High Dive just because they have a back catalog of really good stuff. Like here recently, I've been watching some shows with somebody, and like every time I look at the catalog, it's like, holy crap, they have this here. Oh, I forgot this is over here. Like, I'm making like a watch list again, looking at all the older titles, and it's like there's a lot of really good older shows on there, like Nanan Biori, Call the Night. K-on's on there. Not that Call the Night's old, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, going back to like the 80s and 90s, I'd have to go check like that catalog specifically, because most of the stuff that I've seen just browsing it recently has been mostly like 2000 stuff. Call the Night and Oshinoko. Yeah, Oshinoko is a big one on there, even though they sort of got the recent season. They almost didn't get the recent season. Netflix is doing well in anime, but that's not their main focus, right? It's never been. That's why I really struggle with calling Netflix a competitor. It is becoming a big investment, though. Like, a lot of their involvement with things like One Piece and stuff like that is becoming a thing they're focusing on. I think when you look at like their statistics and their viewership for like an entire quarter, and a lot of it in the upper area is anime related, that's hard for them to ignore. Especially in Japan, where a lot of anime is in that top 10 every week. So I get to headstrong and fucking up everything soon after. What a shock, right? Like I said, they get full of themselves quickly. They do get full of themselves very quickly, and they make really dumb decisions. So to get too headstrong, we don't think that Netflix is putting a dent in Crunchyroll, a dent in their confidence. I'd be very curious what Crunchyroll's opinion is of Netflix anime specifically. No doubt, Crunchyroll wants those numbers. Crunchyroll would love to have Netflix's numbers. That's not a doubt. The question is, I wonder how much they see Netflix as a competitor. I don't think they do. I legitimately don't see Crunchyroll sees Now, don't get me wrong. Netflix, if they have any brains whatsoever, or Crunchyroll, if they have any brains whatsoever, is going to acknowledge Netflix as a time competitor. Every other streaming service, every other medium, every single other entertainment medium is a competitor to Crunchyroll because it takes time away from you. YouTube Shorts is a competitor to Crunchyroll because it takes your time. That's the time element there. But to see them as a competitor when somebody thinks anime, that's the question mark. I'd be curious if they do. I think the general public, they do, but to anime fans, they don't. Anime fans are going to know Crunchyroll. General Joe Schmo is going to be, well, let's see what's on Netflix, because I have a Netflix account. I don't have a Crunchyroll account because I don't watch anime that much. I can see that. Competition is always an issue. Anime monopoly is bad, yeah. Nothing will be bad as Disney Plus, though. Oh my god, dude. I recently set up somebody that I know with a Disney Plus / Hulu account, and it is so hard for like normies to like really, like, for me, it's like if I want to watch something anime related and it's on Disney, it's like I just go right to it. But like trying to explain Disney / Hulu to like an average person that's always had cable internet or cable television is so freaking hard, dude. Like, somebody I know basically has satellite, or they had satellite, and that satellite service was getting upwards of $250 a month. It's like, I don't know why. Like, I've been so disconnected from like normal cable television for so long, but when I was dealing with cable television, it was like upwards of $150 for like a very basic package. It's just so ridiculous. And I know that a lot of people went and cut the cord because of that. And now we, of course, have a lot of these companies are trying to bundle us into 50 million things. But like looking at somebody that's paying $250 a month or whatever it was for satellite, and then offering them an alternative, which is like, just go get Disney Hulu and stream it. You know, it'll be $20 plus, you know, a $70 internet package. That's like less than $100, and you get access to hundreds, if not thousands, of shows with that. But then like going to use it, it's horrible, dude. Disney / Hulu, it's like, it's such a horrible experience. And then like if you don't get the no ads plan, they literally play like 5 minutes of ads before you even start watching the show. It's like, I think there's times when we don't realize how good things like Crunchyroll is. When you go out of the realm and go into something like Disney and just watch a regular show, and suddenly you get like, again, you're paying $20. You start the show and you have to watch 5 minutes of ads. And then when the show starts, you watch it for a little bit, then you watch another 5 minutes of ads after you paid a subscription to it. My gosh, dude. My gosh, now Netflix is doing that too, if I remember correctly. Anyways, I don't even know how I got to there, but yeah, monopolies are bad. Oh, Disney Plus question, yeah. But in the end, all roads lead back to, yeah. Is that all roads lead back to that? I don't know. PS3 was $500 for the cheapest in 2006, was nearly $1,000. Yeah, when you look at like the cost of the dollar and those old consoles, a crazy price that we pay for that stuff. Modern economy, the anti-competition leads tends to do is the company, to be honest, yeah. With Sony, pride goeth before the fall, right? For alternatives, I've been having a lot of fun watching older anime straight from YouTube. The old dubs are pretty janky and charming. Yeah, I think there's a lot of services too. Again, like Retro Crush, that stream a lot of the older shows. Still better with Sony over Star Wars Galaxies. Yeah. Yeah. Sony would need a big hack like they had with the PS3 era to get fully acknowledged issues. No. It's no. No. Hacks have literally Crunchyroll here recently had a big scare about a hack. Nothing happened. They just shrug, move on. Oceanville is too expensive. That's my problem. Yeah, that's sort of that's when I first heard about Oceanville, and I was actually thinking about contacting them about doing some sort of partnership or something like that. When I seen that, I'm like, holy crap, that's prawn site sub cost right there. Like, but I have heard, again, thanks to Quest for the Best, their catalog apparently seems better than it was back when I looked at it the first time. When I looked at it before, well, honestly,
You can't. Let's see if they changed it. When I first looked at Ocean Vale's website, my biggest criticism was like, you can't see what they have. Okay, you can... Yeah, they're still like that. Like, they're still like that. You go to their site, you can't see what they have. I'm trying to be careful here what I can actually show. I'll show this. I think I can show this. I don't want to scroll up because there's a Nukitashi video clip up there. But, like, you see a Nukitashi clip, and then you have this. Special pickups. They have, I guess, some recent news right here. You can't see what they have. All you see is that they have these. So is this all they have? Like, there's no, like, browse what we have. Browse our selection to see if this is something you want to sign up for. You just literally go, well, I'm not interested in these, so I guess I don't want to sub. Like, that's not very appealing, honestly. But yeah, I guess, again, that goes to, like, maybe potential partnership to go on there and, you know, sign up and then show people what's on there and say, hey, this is a possible alternative. But again, it's going to be expensive. And it comes down to, again, a growing company and hoping that they grow to a point where they can start supporting more titles. Because it does seem like they are getting a lot of titles, and that is, again, counter to what High Dive did when they got this nice injection of money when they got Ocean Co. originally. They should have reinvested in that to getting more titles. It seems like Ocean Vale is doing that. They're pumping a lot of money into picking up titles. Also, Disney Plus, even if people hate the company, are investing more and getting exclusive anime now. Ocean Vale is honestly extremely pricey for how much they have currently. Yeah. And again, you legit can't see what they have. You look at their page, you can't see what they have. Catch You Live finally. You know, I think there is an anime back in the season, spring season called Mekeshi wa Barbaroi no Yome. Oh, the Barbarian. Yeah. Was completely censored in white. I don't remember. Wasn't that one that had, like, wasn't it nipless anyways? I think it was nipless. Except for his thing, but again, they don't show man junk. they don't show the lower areas ever, even uncensored. They don't show it. That's a big no for their obscenity laws that are completely vague. But look, I know exactly what it is. Just because you censor it doesn't make it any less. Yeah. Lost my spot, damn it. Crunchyroll sees Netflix as an easy excuse to governments to not being a monopoly. Yeah. What's my favorite anime of, like, all time? I don't know. I'll show my usual top up here. I'll show my top. Things like Bungo Stray Dogs, Rakugo Shinju, the Monogatari series, Evangelion. They're all up here. For the love of God, cancel Disney Plus. What? In terms of bidding time, yes. In terms of genre of company, probably not so much. Oh, for, like, competition. Netflix Japan is not going up against Crunchyroll in Japan. They are going against plenty of Japanese streaming services, Abema, ATX. Yeah, and apparently, from what I understand, that's not supposed to be. They're not, like, big on exclusivities, and you see that because a lot of the sites like Abema, Amazon JP, Netflix Japan, all of them are kind of cross-pollinizing. Like, whenever I'm doing my Japanese rankings, there's very few cases where there's like exclusivities. Like the anime's on like everything. Like if you go to any like anime that's currently airing, if you go to like their website and go to the like the broadcast stuff, here, I'll just do it right now. Down here. Official site. No, they got a weird layout here. They typically have like an on-air place. Of course, the one that I pick doesn't have an on-air page like they typically do. TV animation. There it is. Okay. On air. If you go to on air here, you'll see where it's broadcasting. They have, you know, MX here, ATX. That's all the television broadcast locations. They'll show where and when each one of them is broadcast on television. And then if you look in the streaming area, you'll see Abema, DNMA Store, Nico Nico, Unext, DMMM, Netflix. It's literally on everything. Japan is not like the West. The West over here, it's like Crunchyroll gets it, or High Dive gets it, or somebody specifically gets it. With anime, in Japan, it's everywhere. Everybody has it. There's like a very rare case where it's going to be exclusive on something, and that's like one show a season. I'll typically, whenever I do my Japanese ranking videos, for those who don't know, I've only missed like one season of it, but I typically, every single season, I will go through all the shows and look at their like overall viewerships on sites like Abema. I do one for the ranking site page on Netflix Japan, so on and so forth. And when I'm looking at that data, there's maybe like one show that's not like everywhere. I mean, Andrew, Mr. Sam, right? People got so mad, like, you stop and doing the ranking. I'm like, I just took a break one time. But yeah, anyways. I have some normie friends that watched a few anime because they were like, oh, it's on Netflix, and because cool, so I thought might as well. Yeah. Explaining what a streaming service nowadays is to someone doesn't know, and overall, that's an overall issue. It is very difficult for like something that we're so used to, for somebody, especially somebody that's older, to understand. It's very difficult for them to understand, like going through a menu to find a show rather than just. And it's weird to do because it's like, I almost want to feel like if Netflix, or not Netflix too, if these streaming services like, you know, Disney Plus or Hulu had like just a list of like, here's a bunch of shows that you can watch at a certain time of the day, they'd be totally comfortable. Like even if it locked certain shows behind like a certain timeline, and then like pretended like you have to like DVR, they would like totally fall in love with it. Dropped cable 10 years ago, never looked back. 100% same. It's like dumb. Like even like if you don't watch sports, you get charged like taxes and stuff on sports. It's weird. The issue with subscriptions coming worse is, unfortunately, some customers will buy anything no matter what. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're seeing it right now. There is so much like anger and disgust over like the whole no physical media thing, and the fact that, you know, PlayStation's moving to all digital. There's like a bunch of madness over like this preview for GTA being on Netflix. Like, you have to sub for Netflix with their like $20 a month service in order to watch a preview for the next GTA. But let's see how many. Let's see the numbers for GTA. GTA is going to be selling millions, tens of millions in its first day. Nobody cares, unfortunately, in the end. Nobody actually cares. That's why when people were asking me a couple weeks ago about like what can we do to push back on Crunchyroll with all this stuff, it's like, I don't think you can. There's too many people that don't care. Yeah, watch Medalist and One Dance on Disney Plus. The lack of great control in America is scary. Holy yeah. That's what regulations are good in some cases, but unfortunately, a lot of the big dogs have their money in the pockets of important people. Nowadays, cable is trying to lure people back in by building all the major streaming minus bundling all the yeah. Like one package that I seen was like HBO was like with it, like you get HBO Plus, and it's like that's weird to have a streaming service added to your package for, again, Dish. What do you think about Japanese companies using YouTube to distribute anime and their own subs like Ramao? The most well-known examples, Nokotan. I like it, and I do kind of like that as an alternative, because again, my big hope was for having a lot of these companies distribute it themselves. So you have a producer comes out with an anime, having them, and rather than selling the license to Crunchyroll, they put it on YouTube. The only problem there is that by putting on YouTube, they don't have a guaranteed kickback, and that kickback takes a while. Whereas Crunchyroll is a lure for them, because Crunchyroll comes to them and says, we will give you money up front. And these companies love that. But I think it's probably, we could potentially probably see a lot of companies do that now going forward, because of what it shows in the numbers and what, certain individuals, I think it was a guy from Katakawa, had mentioned that Crunchyroll is now like not giving them as much. You might have some companies that aren't going to get as much from Crunchyroll decide, let's try this. Let's put it on YouTube. That way it gets a bigger audience, more people have access to it, and potentially they can make more money from YouTube revenue than they would from Crunchyroll. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. A good test, honestly. Internet Plus TV, here's like 100 euros for the best tier, give or take. What is that to like USD? That's a lot, isn't it? Yeah, that's like 115. That's not bad for both. Dropped Spectrum 2 years ago because it kept trying to force TV in with my internet using Starlink at the moment. I kind of want to do Starlink, or at least a backup, because I've had times where like my internet has a problem and then it's like I can't work. Like I have to like set up a hot hotspot on my phone or something like that just to get something uploaded or something like that. I kind of thought about getting a Starlink just as a backup, but it's pricey. It is pricey. It is pricey to set up and stuff. And the hell teaching. No, my other problem with Starlink was that their upload rates are, from what I'm seeing, are not great, and I need upload. Like they were like old school like cable internet days, dial-up standard days, like where the download rate's like really huge, but the upload rate's like really horrible, because barely anybody uses upload. The only people that use upload like crazy is people that are content creators that are putting up videos and stuff like that. Most people, your upload rate is only so that you can upload a video onto Facebook or for a handshake. Like when you go to a website, the upload is to communicate to the website to bring information. Like most people don't use upload. So they bring the upload down so the download is higher. Military Nube remake was on there too. Nice. Currently trying to watch The Expanse on Prime with ads, and the highest count was a total of 6 ad breaks. I hate it. Feels bad to get ads whenever you're subbing, right? But again, that's an old broadcast day kind of stuff, like cable television and whatnot. Like it's weird to even think about paying, again, like $250 for satellite, and then you're watching ads. Like, what did I pay $250 for then? Lets you see the catalog. You can sign up for free but not watch anything. Lets you see the catalog. But do you have to put a credit card in to sort of sign up for free? Because typically they make you sign up first with a credit card so they can charge you once it's up. WI Oceanville can't be a set right. I was there waiting for review bomb. I wasn't there. I wish there wasn't review bombs on anime. It doesn't affect people as much. It doesn't affect anime as much as you think it does. A lot of websites have controls around that stuff. A lot of websites base their weight on stuff. Like My Anime List bears their weight on reviews based on how many episodes you watch. So typically when the series ends, a lot of that stuff doesn't have as much value. It doesn't affect things as much as I think people give it. Keeping this crap service and ask why piracy is a thing, right? They're just afraid of people will watch it for free, so they want you to sign up for the... No, you can't watch for free if you see the catalog. Like, you can show the catalog without making it viewable. Like, you just make... When you click to watch the show, it says, please sign up. Like, it's basic, like, 2026 UI stuff here. You make all this stuff available until you go to click to watch it, and then suddenly you are pushed towards the sign up. You have a lot of H, yeah. That was what it originally came out as. It was originally coming out with like Anime Festa stuff, which Anime Festa stuff, a lot of that was like was H stuff. Was story-based H stuff. My time to hit the bed has come. See y'all. And Andrew, happy Stream Twins. Stream Twins? Have a good night, Heavenly. Thanks for dropping by. The most classic they have is on there is Ken Akamatsu's animes. Yeah. Do you think they will continue the anime into the Dragon Tales? No. If what you're talking about is what I think you're talking about, then no. Another man jumps another man's treasure. Yeah. Still can't forgive Crunchyroll for using ChatGPT to translate an anime into my language despite being paid translation. I don't even watch the anime. Yeah, and a lot of that was probably the subcontractor screwed up. That particular case, I don't necessarily think that's Crunchyroll directly their fault, but it is stupid. Yes, I agree. ChatGPT says. ChatGPT says. Ocean Veil is expensive, but I like to support competitive to Crunchyroll. Yeah. That's my whole point there. And again, that was like the idea of doing something that's, focused on alternatives, is looking at stuff like that. Because people are asking about it again. When stuff like this happens, people get an interest for a little bit in alternatives before they, unfortunately, give up. I heard you say something about Tear Moon Empire. I hope it gets a second season. It was a fun watch. Yeah, the OP was great. The OP was really catchy. The fact that with the Desawa song. The fact that you mentioned Evangelion, I should have finished my rewatch of Bokurano. That brings it up. You just want to know, if you haven't played the games, give it a try. I did. I badly wanted to buy, because I think Steam has the full game series, the new game series. I was actually thinking of getting that and playing it. Thou live produce shit. Thank you, Honored One, for your feedback. Would you say Takapi or Dangers made it into your top 10 anime you have seen? You've been huge on those. Dangers is already there. Takapi, I don't know. I want it to stew a little bit longer, but I'm hopeful that it probably would make my top 10. I don't see why it wouldn't. Who Japan mostly has a manga service, not just TV, movies, anime. Nice. Yeah, for those that know, Hulu's technically a different company in Japan. Like, it's not Disney owned over in Japan. It's 3 a.m. here in the Philippines. Shout out. Gonna go back to work now. Take care, man. Thanks again for dropping in. And you're missing a season. Bad. Plus TV, even Super Kagema Hime, which even Netflix exclusive, had a theatrical release and blew up in popularity. Nice. Remember Fire Force was exclusively on Netflix Japan? Was it? Was it? Really? That's a sus comment if I ever heard one. No. We're gonna look at this. We're gonna look at this. That sounds sus. We're fact checking this live. Fact checking. Somebody was lying. Somebody was lying. Oh no, this has 1 to 3 chapters now available various streaming platforms. Second season. No, stop. Stop. This is the page for the newest one, right? What do they classify 1 to 3? I'd imagine it would be season 1 through 3. The wording's weird. Yeah, they have season 3, 25 episodes. Yeah, it's all there. I'm fibbing. Unless it was exclusive at the time of its broadcasting. That could be it as well. That's what just watching Decider is for streaming, yeah. This season has been the most anime I've ever seen released on Amazon at a time. Gits, Country Bumpkin, Swordsman, Maglemere, Stepmother, Sister are not wicked. Yeah. Some good ones too. Gits is a big one. This season we have a radio tax, which is used to be everyone who owned a TV. They had to pay it for public services like cable TV. Yeah, that's what I hate. Again, that's what they sort of do with the whole, again, tax for like the sports stuff. It's like local sports stuff, you have to pay for it. And it's like, I don't watch local sports, so you still have to pay for it. Why? Like, what, is that a law? It's a law that I have to pay for it? What's your best 3 ReZero episodes until now? There's a couple, but I'm not sure exactly which episodes, but like, in season 3, I still think 18 from season 1 is one of my favorite, which I think that one's the REM one. I don't think anything in the current season's up there for me, even though I do like the current season. There's a few of them in the second season, though, that I really like. Just move overseas. You also stream at a normal time. I can't please everybody. First way to fight Crunchyroll is to pay off your Visa, MasterCard. Use the payment processors to avoid credit card censorship. It's very difficult to get around that because, again, a lot of transactions are being done by them. The US is a big... the US is big in the UK. A decent internet, but a lot of areas have fiber optic. Yeah, I was surprised when we got fiber over here, honestly. Stop to Talk Spirit. Been watching a lot of your Mystical skip content videos. Really enjoyable and surprised on how much is actually skipped. Yeah, I think I probably get into a little bit too much stuff, but like some of the stuff I think is really kind of cool. And a lot of it's stuff that I find important because I like a lot of those character study moments. As are why I don't watch Prime anymore. Not just email. No, just email. Oh, an email for that site. Okay, gotcha. US is always behind on actually giving good internet. Right. I mean, that was like one of my biggest arguments with the idea of PlayStation going physical only or digital only was the fact that like a lot of the services around here where I live, until we got fiber optic, they all have like bandwidth caps. So like you legit can't download games because you would run into your cap and you'd be charged like a lot of money. Like you're talking about like 100 gigabytes being a cap for an entire month. Like you have to download half of it for like 1 month and then half of it the next month or something like that. They have free tier, aka the censored versions. 50 at the low, 60 megabits per second for me seems like it's doing a test now. Oh, for the upload? They're kind of on your imagination being better than the catalog. Not even care, but did you see the Banana Fish dub released yesterday on Netflix? Yeah, I seen that. That was kind of cool. I at first was like, wait, is this the AI dub again? I was like, no way they do the AI dub again. That'd be crazy. What's the best story for creating a magic power system? What's the best story for creating a magic power system? I'm liking Silent Witch so far, but I'm not sure how detailed they're gonna get about it. Silent Witch has a like mathematical system that I'm hoping eventually kind of pays off. But I don't know if it's like just surface level or not yet. But I like the idea of a mathematical system. I'm hoping they get into it because it seems like a lot to do with the father and stuff like that, so it should hopefully make sense. When I think of manga millions, I'm not sure what that is. Takapi's one problem is rewatchability. I don't necessarily think that's sort of a critic. I don't think that's a bad thing for a show. Like I don't ever want to rewatch Grave of the Fireflies, but it's an incredible film. I legit never want to watch. And that was sort of the problem that I had with going back to what I was talking about earlier with Quest for the Best. Since I was talking about them earlier, I might as well bring them up again. A lot of their take on Takapi's Original Sin was because it's not a comfortable watch sometimes. It's like I don't know that I would necessarily critique a show for being uncomfortable. Like as long as it tells a story properly. And my whole thing with Takapi's Original Sin is I feel like it doesn't do it for the sake of being like. It doesn't do it for the sake of like being, violence. It's not being mean for the sake of being mean and shocking. It's not for shock value. That's a perfect way to put it. It's not shock value. It's done for a purpose. It's trying to get a statement across. So that doesn't bother me so much. This is done by Disney, right? All the new 1,000-Year Blood. Yeah. Stream has all 5 mainline Utoiramano games, or Steam has it all 5. The first 3 games were covered in the anime Monochrome, Mobius, and Past and Present. The new ones serve as a conclusion to the series. Nice. Draconic, what's going on? Welcome to stream. Made the time, not now. Off work, raid, and listening to the yapping. Thanks, Alpha. Hey, Andrew, how you been? Doing good, Born. Hope you're doing well. Just a yap sesh. Just a yap sesh. Didn't really plan too much today, but Yap Fest work still. Late at work, how's it going? Hey. As someone who likes Mushoku Tensei, do you think I will also like ReZero? I've met all types. I've met all types of people. Some people like Mushoku Tensei but don't like ReZero. They like ReZero but they don't like Mushoku Tensei. And I've met a lot of people that like both. I've met a lot. Thankfully, like most of the people in my community, when I was doing Mushoku Mondays, most all of them like both of them. They both find them great for their own reason. The authors like each other's works as well. I just think that ReZero does a lot of things differently than Mushoku Tensei. I think they both have an incredibly well thought out world and systems within those worlds and politics within those worlds, but they individually for their characters do different things. They both have main characters that have a lot of issues, but they're different issues. And they both do characters really well. Like all the supporting characters are fantastic in both series. We got Team Mobile Fiber last year. Nice. Switch to Fiber next year. The big thing about it is I think that with those, at least the fiber suppliers that we have here, they're much more competitive with the pricing, which is great for now. Probably switching to Fiber next year for the expansion. Nice. After the few episodes of Saga talking evil interactions between Zetor and Ridgersdorf, is this show yaoi fans? No. If it goes that direction, that'd be way left field. I am not against digital releases, but taking away physical media altogether is strongly against. Yeah, I agree. Digital only works well in a 95% of the cases of times, but falls completely apart with another. Yeah. The problem with digital only, and especially when it comes to PlayStation's route, is the fact that they have no protections for what you buy. So they've shown time and time again that when you buy something, you don't get to keep it. Digital, anyways. Million Among a Million is Shueisha's new free. Oh, that one, yeah. Yeah, I heard some controversy over the fact that they have their translators using AI, which is legit what we've been talking about for like the last like 3 months. So it wasn't too much of a shock for me. Hopefully those translations aren't garbo, but again, they legit said it several times. We're going to use AI. The government wants them to use AI. They're trying to use AI in order to combat piracy, so not great, but expected. Why are the YouTube comments always so far behind? My responses to the YouTube chat is because I'm trying to read everybody's. Gotta go, take care, and with a great spirit comes great responsibility. Take care, What to Find Art. Thanks for dropping by. ReZero is hard to start. It's slow to build, but it's good. Just gotta get past the first 3 episodes for me. I thought the beginning was a pretty good little hook, but I can see a lot of people's problems with it, especially with Subaru and his nature. I think if you clash with Subaru's personality, you're gonna find the first episodes a little bit difficult. Stopped watching ReZero early in season 2 because I couldn't stomach the MC anymore. He made me physically ill. He made you physically ill and angry at him so much that I didn't want to listen to him anymore. Like you got sick. Like, did you consult a doctor? If he made you physically ill, I think you should consult a doctor. That's not good. That's not good. There's no problem though. I don't mind if people find him annoying. That's just like Shinji. I've been an apologist for Shinji for the longest time, and so it makes sense that people don't always agree with me when it comes to characters. Do you think anime Mushoku Tensei would succeed without the production and animation? And do you think any work succeeds at excellence animations regardless of whether... Yeah, because season 2 part 1 sucked. There you go. See, it would, because season 2 part 1 sucks. No, I think a lot of its popularity... I do believe that a lot of its popularity was sprung from season 1 being so incredible. I mean, myself included, myself was sort of initially drawn in by the fact that production was great early on. I don't think it holds though. I think even now the show's not like incredible. The first 2 episodes of season 3 were really good, but beyond that, it's back to season 2 levels of quality. I don't think we're ever gonna get season 1 quality again. Not that season 1 was always great, but it was better. Well, the best thing about everything digital now is that at least it costs less to make physical disc and transfer. Just that the cost of games are gonna go down, right? The cost of games are gonna go down, right? Man, GTA right now is so much cheaper. Have you seen how cheap GTA is right now? Because it's digital only. Y'all, it's come down in price. Like, have you ever been so angry that you got tense and you just wanted to punch someone? That was me. I don't know how Subaru could do that. I've had characters who are like morally like they do horrible things. Like, there is a story that I read a while back about a mother who wanted to put their child in a room full of men when they were disabled, and that made me viciously angry. But that's not Subaru being annoying. That's somebody doing something that you could never forgive. That is a completely different thing. The best thing ever now. I love season 1, honestly, when the mystery and the stakes went through the roof. If your super hate lasts more than 4 episodes, consult the doctor. Is that what it is? I just thought the live stream was behind on the YouTube side. Oh, no. Costco downright laughs and CEO bonuses. Sure. Good luck on that one. On PC, thought it was true about the price because they have competition to Steam, but any console is only one place. Right. And there's only one store. Watching Rise of the Shield Hero and as close as I felt to what they're explaining, it was so stupidly rage baiting. Right. Oh. Yeah, I've only really had that experience whenever it comes to somebody that is legitimately doing something mean. Like Takabi's Original Sin. When she's bullying, it's like that's unsettling, and I'm upset because the visual is somebody pounding somebody in the dirt. Subaru acting like a dummy. Like even when it comes to like him being aggressively selfish when it comes to Amelia not appreciating what he's doing for her. I don't get sick. I think like the worst I got was probably like, Rem being turned into a pretzel. Like when they're physically being harmed or skewed or whatever, I could definitely get behind that. Congrats on catching up to chat, old timer. Right, P. Fletcher? Right. Rise Steel Hero is designed to get the rise out of its audience. Doesn't really for me. I found it to be extremely blah. Now we really need a Yu Yu Hakusho. It's surprising that we haven't got Yu Yu Hakusho. It makes me kind of wonder how popular it is in Japan. Upping Mushoku Tensei Season 3, saving for the budget for the later parts. Yeah, I can... That's the hope, honestly. They're doing good with pacing, though. I'm appreciating how well they're doing with the pacing. They're not like, rushing through the novels. Just seeing in the room with full knights, one of the chosen main guard, and Subaru just talks all of them and hypes himself up, thinking his depression gives him the right. It was cringe. It was definitely cringe. And again, for me, it was personally the later scene after he gets beat the crap out of. And then again, he starts getting all like selfish about like what he's doing for Amelia and starts yelling at her about how he's doing all that stuff for Amelia. And it's like, yeah, that was sort of like a, oh God, you're so dumb moment. That was a very, you're so dumb, dude. We're at the point now where a villain killing someone is considered cool, not cruel. There's your reason for keeping watching ReZero is if you don't like Super, you get to see him die a lot. How many animes do you watch in your life? Too many. Too many. This is probably not even all of them. Like a lot of the older shows, I don't even remember much of what I watched when I was young. One of Ruby Rocks is getting a second season since it was surprised the manga wasn't fully adapted. The merchants is Chef Kiss. I don't think they're ever going to do a season 2. I don't think so. But Netflix announced the continuation of Yu Yu Hakusho live action. Yeah. I must admit, I do love watching Subaru die. Exactly. See, you get exactly what you want by watching it. Little icing on the cake right there. Little icing on the cake. I should probably do some ranking fixings while we're here. Since we're here, what did I do last time? Somebody remind me. Was it completed? And I did. I think I stored it by date added, right? Completion date. Yeah. Damn. Let's start things off. Let's kick things off. Let's kick things off. What should I rate Witch Hat Atelier? I wonder if this will be a hot take. I wonder if this will be a hot take. Chat, what do you think? I think it's a solid 8 show. I kind of want to do 7 just for the ending. Yeah, we know more is coming though. Like I almost want to do 7 just for the ending, but I'm like 7 or 8. But I think 8's comfy. I think 8's comfy. It's a very entertaining show to watch. My biggest issue with the show is, yes, the ending sucks. But like my biggest issue and why I come down a couple points is that I don't find a lot of the characters to be that interesting. But they're presented in an entertaining way. They're presented in a very entertaining way. Did I tell you the question is how many S's? S's. 1 episode 11. I like the show, the animation, etc. Yeah, it's a visually pleasing show to watch. It's a very visually pleasing show to watch. I just don't think it's compelling storytelling in a general sense. It's got a lot that needs to get built up. I find Keyfree to be extremely intriguing, but most of the characters are like, I need to do better because people have expectations for me or no expectations for me, or people want me to change and I don't want to change. I hope the story gets good later on. I'm having a hope for it, yeah. Do you believe more in story or animation? It's a balance. It's a very big balance. It's a very big balance. That's a good start. That's a good starter one. Anything else that I want to look at early on? These are all rated. I think I only added recently Witch Hat. The rest of the seasons I need to add. Where is my next show not rated? We're doing good, chat. We're actually keeping up with a lot of these shows, and I'm thankful of that. Tombo? Actually, we're back here. We're back here. Studio apartment, good lighting, angels included. It's a 5-er. I think that's a solid 5. I think that's a solid 5. Like, it's the problem that good studio apartment, good lighting, angel included had was that early on it was the ecchi was good, but like that was all it really had. Like I just didn't really care for it. It was just not funny. But the moment that the rest of the girls join the group, the comedy is actually really good. It's not that good though, and it did kind of get boring again later on. I'll do 4. Actually, I'm gonna change to 4. I think it's a solid ecchi comedy, but like it's got way too many dry points. Way too many dry points. Brush buddy supremacy. A good story can do more heavy lifting than a good animation. 100% agree. Church, 100% agree. I think even when a show is at its worst, what is with the day and internet? Is we good, internet? Are we good? Is today just not a day for me to stream? Is today just one of those days? We back, chat? I'll refresh. Okay, it is good. I think. Did it just end the stream? Okay, we're good. Okay, good. I do have like that it could end the stream, so I was like concerned that it ended the stream for me. Anyways, good on Twitch side. I didn't check Twitch side. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes. Anyways, GG internet. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, if you have a good story, you can definitely carry a show. I've had way too many cases where a show is not the greatest looking, but I still like it because the story's good. Let me see what my... That's a good question. What is my highest rated Garbo looking show? What is my highest rated Garbo looking show? If Annilist will... Thank you, Annilist. Thank you for loading. I appreciate that. Let me reorganize my tabs. My highest rated, not so good looking show. Air is not the greatest looking show, but it is older. It is an older style. Claymore was okay, but not bad. Shoot. How far do we go down before I run into a show that looks bad? How far down do I go before shows look bad? Mashishi again is a very, not like a high production value, but not bad looking. Yeah, these, if anything's high up that's not amazing looking, it's not bad looking. Big Windup wasn't like the greatest looking show. Dark Gathering. Dark Gathering. That's my highest rated not good looking show. Dark Gathering was rough. Dark Gathering was kind of rough. They cut a lot of corners, but they tried to hide it as much as possible. Dark Gathering was not a great looking show. It was easily, its biggest weakness is its lack of animation. And again, they did a lot with the styling to cover it up, but it was not. It's a lot to do with sort of utilizing what time and quality they had available to them to make it look good. Take a drug on it. Thanks for dropping by. Not sure. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Failure Frame is mostly ugly looking epic story. Yeah, that one's rough. That one was rough. I'm watching Smoking Bad. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Smoking Bad in the supermarket. Shoto is my example. The animation gets really bad near the end, low the story still. I mean, even Gillian had a horrible ending visually. You turn off allow train content for AI. Yeah, it took a while because it kept turning it back on. Not that I think it's going to stop it from getting trained. It's still going to pick it up from somewhere else. Some other AI is going to pick up these streams, and then Amazon will feed off of it. A lot of normies tend to get hypnotized by good animation, throwing 9s and 10s at them. Yeah, I agree. Which again, it's their prerogative. If that makes it a 10 in their eyes, then it makes it a 10 in their eyes. My ratings have never been about other people. It's always been about me. Since I watch so many shows, I need to know what show is compared to another. So I have to use the full spectrum of, 1 through 10, just so that I can tell what the difference is between a 4 and a 5. You're welcome, question mark? What was that? You're not sure if you're okay with me thanking you? Gas Monkey, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, I gotta train it for the future Andrew that streams. Like when I have a live stream sitting next to my live stream that is doing the same thing I'm doing that looks exactly like me. Kaya-chan isn't scary. Oh yeah, that one it was pretty much the same guy. If I remember correctly, it's the same director. So yeah, they both had to kind of struggle the same way. I think I think the director behind the Dark Gathering is sort of somebody that knows how to utilize what budget he's given, and they're not given much budget, unfortunately. Recently watched Conception, the worst harem isekai anime I ever watched. Everything sucked. I even played the game Conception. Yeah, the anime sucked. I didn't play the entirety of the game, but still. What's the one dance anime that came out last fall? Wandance. A really wonky dance animation. Forgot the name. Yeah, it was the funny thing about Wandance was the fact that it was Madhouse at the same time that Madhouse wasn't doing One Punch Man, and everybody wanted Madhouse to do One Punch Man. Yet they're thinking that it's going to get the same levels of quality as season 1. When Wandance was right there to say, no, we're not going to give it. Not everything gets the great quality that we get in season 1. That Demons of Destruction is a good sci-fi show. It is. It is really good. I enjoyed it. Amazon Andrew bought 9,000. Going to be stealing the stream views from me. That's what I think is going to happen. Eventually, they're going to replace me because it'll probably do a better job than I do. Anyways. Duke of Death and Maid. Last season, if I remember correctly, it wasn't like really big on the last season. I did like its conclusion, though. Duke of Death, I think its last little story was not great. Let me double check. Let me double check this. I feel like I'm misremembering some stuff here. Was it only a 3 season? I felt like it was a 4 season. I give season 2. I think season 2 was still solid. I really like season 1. So 7. Okay, let me think. Season 1 and season 2, I think, are on par with each other, if I remember correctly. And then season 3, I think, is where I had a lot of my problems. So I would probably do season 2 as a 7 as well. And season 3, I'd probably do... No, because I think season 2 had a lot of the stuff around the other couple, didn't it? Does anybody in the chat watch this show? Can anybody help me remember? I seem to remember season 2 got into... God, what the hell is his name? Well, if he's not in the credits, then he's probably not... yeah, Cuff and Zane. I think season 2 got into Cuff and Zane, and I really liked them too. I really liked their story. And I think they got more into Sade and stuff like that. So I want to say season 2 was the better one for me. I'm going to put an 8 on this one. But again, I think season 3 is where it kind of comes down for me. I have to go back. I'm going to have to go back at some point and double check that. I'm going to go 6. 6 plus. It's like a 6, maybe a little more. What I think of Harem in a Labyrinth in Another World, I think it has potential, but unfortunately just not really well-told story in the end. Grim Variants had like 2 good episodes. The rest of it's kind of meh. Like a 3. Like 2 of the stories were really good. Tonario Yokai-san, it's like a 5. I think it's a really solid like yokai rural area type of story. A lot of the stuff around the Tengu was really fascinating. The cat especially was interesting. For those Yashio, stop. For those that have not watched this show, it's about like people in a rural area. The world in general actually lives alongside yokai, and like a couple of different stories. There's one story that's about a cat that manifests into a cat yokai thing. And then at that point, it gains intelligence and becomes its own person and a citizen of the world. And so it kind of gets into how he sort of transitions from being a family cat into being like a proper member of society because he's now, you know, of intelligence, stuff like that, sentience and whatever. But there was also the Tengu, which I thought that story was cool as well. The Tengus that like protect the area. Hey, Deedlit, how's it going? So I want to probably give this a 5. It's a solid series. Tombo was really good. I never watched the second season, but Tombo was a good watch. I think it's like a 6. I think it's 6. Train to the End of the World. My gosh, I wanted that show to be so good. It has some really good episodes though. Its ending sucks. Its whole like later arc sucks. Like it's got a cool concept, like the world that's like warped by like this new technology, and these girls like traveling on this train to go to this other location, and all these different stops has like the area is warped in a different way, and they're like individually some cool little concepts, but like the last story and the last art sucked. The zombie bit was good. I tell everybody, if you're not going to watch Train to the End of the World, at least watch The Zombie Girl. The Zombie Girl story was so good, dude. The leader of the zombies, that was so, I wanted that to be its own anime. I wanted that little bit to be its own anime. The zombies that are killed by the sight of Pantsu. The Pantsu ending, the Pantsu killing zombie, the zombie killing Pantsu. It's a bit of a fun ride. I feel like you're making a joke there. I'm gonna still give it a 6. I think it's a good little ride. Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy Season 2, shrug. I really like Season 1. I feel like Season 2 I kind of checked out. I don't know if I just wasn't in the mood for it or what, but I just really checked out for Season 2 for the most part. Still good though. Yatagarasu, that's such a good show, dude. I want to rewatch it. I want to rewatch Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu is so good. It was so good. Very underappreciated series. Why is Urusei Yatsura Season 3 and 4 in the same listing? Question mark. Huh? Was it Train to the End of the World as bad as Wonder Egg? Well, see, Wonder Egg Priority, it only had one bad episode in my opinion, and that was that episode that never existed, that ruined everything at the very end. Whereas Train to the End of the World is like an entire arc is bad. The entire later arc was bad. Train is a preview for Elon forcing us to use Neuralink. It was a new cellular speed that they were launching. I'm not sure the connection. Starlink would probably be a better joke there. Elon's launching a new Starlink. I think that would be the more apt joke there. Trains like the Deer Show. What? What? Why is there one UE MV in the Annulus? That the lolly thingy, Wekrim thing came out, and of course we had to watch it. Unnamed Memory was not great either. I wanted Unnamed Memory has potential. I think Unnamed Memory is probably a better novel read because I feel like they skipped a whole crap ton. Like a 3. It's like shrug. Let's see, Yatsura. The finals were really good though. I really enjoyed the later parts of it. Still probably like a 7. A lot of it's nostalgia for me. Brav Bang Bravern was a really good show. I thought the twist at the end was kind of very predictable. the twist at the end was very, very predictable, but it was still a fun watch. What was it? Was it Gaga P or whatever the hell the thing that she said all the damn time? Gaga P. The comedy was solid. 6. I think it's 6. It's a 6. Nokotan just really sucks. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Nokotan. I wanted to like it, but it got repetitive. How many times we're gonna see her do a slow motion funny thing? Bravern's 11 out of 10. Nice. Bang Bang Bravern. What do you think of School Days? It's one of those things that I think you can overthink it, but I think it as an anime was blah. Like, I think there is a joke there to be had in overthinking it a lot and thinking it being sort of a deconstruction of harems, but I think it's legitimately, in the end, just a very blah series. Let's see. These are all done. I don't remember which one of these, which is which, so I have to check that. I think I said the same thing last time I seen this on the list. Tales of Wedding Rings. It's like a 3. It is such like a 3. It is such a 3 show. It's a good harem though if you're looking for a harem. My instant death abilities, I think this show is like extremely interesting, but at the same time Garbo. At some point, all I was watching it for was this girl right here, who was voiced the same Seiyu as Karane. But like, it is so quickly devolves into being so random, it's incomprehensible. It's like a 3. School Days really gets to the point at the end when he gets that boat. Do you like Made in Abyss? Yes, I love Made in Abyss. I love it. I mean, is it up? No, I don't. I don't have it up. I should put it up. Where is it at? What? I thought I had this one up, so I was going to point to it. So I had to go find it. I guess I can change here. Yeah. I didn't put this up originally because I think it's a little bit too dark. There's another one that I had that's a different art that's a little bit brighter that I'm probably going to use instead. But I love that one. Oh. Yeah, Karane, like, her Seiyu's great. Her Seiyu's great. Not gonna lie, a lot of isekais or MCs are absolute cringe lords. Don't watch Eminence in Shadows then. Eminence in Shadows is definitely in that area. Is it Made in Abyss coming back? Yeah, the movie is going to come out in October, I think, in Japan. I'm also a huge fan of Made in Abyss. Was super excited when the PV for the movie came out. Yeah, it looks good. It looks really good. So you saw the PV for the new Made in Abyss? Yeah. One of the Undead Adventures 5 for me could have been given a 6. What do you think about the One Punch Man Season 3? And what do you think happened to... What do you think it will happen in part 2? Question mark. What I think of it, I've never been a fan of One Punch Man. I've legit never been a fan of it. It's funny at times, but for me, for the most part, it's not a humor that clicks with me. Big shocker, comedy subjective. The comedy of One Punch Man has rarely ever hit for me, and so when it came for my enjoyment of One Punch Man as an anime, I only really enjoyed season 1 because it at least gave me a visual spectacle to go with it. So when it came to these sequels, like, lacking that production value that they weren't going to continue with, and I don't think they'll ever will continue with ever again, it doesn't have that to carry it, because the comedy for the most part doesn't work for me. So that's my take. It's really cool. I need to watch my Made in Abyss. Yeah. Are we ever going to get a room tour? Probably not. Probably not. I keep thinking about it. I never do it. Trying to figure out how I'm going to do it and then never doing it. I Wanted an Adventure is unique, but like not a great looking show, and I don't know. It seems to want to play a little bit in the idea of somebody that is a reject of society, but not necessarily getting too much into it. So it's kind of a struggle. I think it's like still a 4 in the end. else? What else? One Punch Man, what is the point of the story, really? The obscenity is just Superman Pro Max. The point of the story is really, like, having all the power in the world, but not wanting to have anything to do with actually helping the world. It was the basic idea. Beyond that, it's about the heroes and the villains and all that kind of stuff, which I never really cared much for. Did I ever watch Shiki? No. I started it a long time ago, but I never finished it. I have the Blu-ray that I wanted to watch eventually. One Punch Man has an interesting story and character, but it does it ironically, yeah. Which is still uninteresting. It's like it's a story about a character that doesn't want to be a part of the story, and that's the joke. What's the most divisive opinion or rating you have on all anime, on an anime that majority of people disagree with? I think a lot of the pushback that I've ever had in, like, all of anime, I mean, probably Mushoku Tensei has gotten me the most issues, but I don't care. Well, nothing, very little stuff that I actually care. It's a bothersome thing, but not that I actually care. Mushoku Tensei has probably gotten me the most issues, but, like, the most shock that I think I've given people in my opinions is probably around a lot of trigger stuff. It took me forever to finish Kill la Kill. I watched Kill la Kill. I got bored of it. I found it to be repetitive. I walked away from it. People told me to watch it. I kept going back watching it, and it never really clicked for me. It took me forever before I finally finished it. In the end, it was okay. Like, I did enjoy it in the end. It just took forever to actually get to the good stuff that I enjoyed. But for the most part, I didn't find it to be as incredible of an animation piece as a lot of people give it out to be. I find a lot of the animation to be repetitive and looping, and that bugs a lot of people. I have yet to finish Gurren Lagann. I keep trying to watch it. I get halfway through it, and then I get bored, and I stop watching it. So Gurren Lagann has never worked for me in the end, and that bugs a lot of people. that the fact that it doesn't grab me as much as it does other people bugs a lot of people. That's not to say that I hate Trigger. There's a lot of Trigger series that I do enjoy in the end. Take care, John. Less surprising you don't enjoy Trigger a lot. No, again, in the end, I do favor a lot of Trigger. There was a sort of there was a aha moment at some point when people were suspecting me to be, like, anti-Trigger, that I went through finally and looked at Trigger's list, and I do like a lot more than I dislike. Like, I like Delicious in Dungeon, I like Cyberpunk Edge Runners, I like Dynazenon, I liked Gridman, I liked Darling the Franxx, I liked Kisniver. The only thing I really didn't... I like Little Witch Academia. I didn't like the TV series of Little Witch Academia, but I like the OVAs, the movies. The only thing I've not liked is Inferno Cop. It doesn't work for me. The comedy doesn't work for me. Kill la Kill is okay. And, again, Gurren Lagann, which is technically, like, Trigger staff back in the day, I never cared for. So, people assume that I don't like the Trigger team. I'm trying to specify the Trigger team because, again, a lot of, like, Gurren Lagann people, that kind of stuff, so. People get triggered, they don't like Trigger, right. You're triggering me right now. My god, the jokes are unending right now. What do you think of Da-Da-Da-Da? I really like Da-Da-Da-Da. I didn't really care much for the later seasons, but, like, I do really like it. Rip Gainax, yeah. Gridman is full. Tokusatsu, yeah. The only Trigger works I truly enjoy is Edge Runner. Edge Runner's super good, dude. Edge Runner's so good. Ugh, so good. Yeah, Penny and Stocking also I didn't really care much for. I wasn't. It just didn't work for me. I did like the first season, a lot of in the first season of the Penny and Stocking, but the new Penny and Stocking didn't work for me. It's just not my humor. BNA didn't work for me either. I haven't watched Promara yet. So yeah, in the end, I'm not like super anti. I think the big prolific ones that I love this one. I love Supernatural Battles Became Commonplace. It's not technically original though. I'm more positive than negative in the end. But that's gotten me some heat in the past. Oh my gosh, why can't you understand how great this is? How can you not understand how great this is? Da-da-da is a vibe, it is. Space Patrol Ludico. That one didn't work for me either. It was fine. Bacano or da-da-da-da? I think in the end, like, unfortunately, Bacano's not done. It was never fully adapted, and I think that's sort of the problem that comes with that, is that you don't really get a sense of, like, the whole story was good. Bacano as an adaptation was incredible. But Da-Da-Da is more complete, is complete, so it sort of gives it a leg up, in my opinion. I think if you asked me which one do I want to, if I could rewatch one of them for the first time ever, I'd probably want to do Bacano. As much as I love the Da-Da-Da, I'd probably do Bacano. What next? What next? Malevolent Spirits Monogatari's season or core 2. Season 2 is where it got very shonen-y. It's not great. Malevolent Spirits Monogatari is not great. What did I give season 1 or part 1? Did I even rank it? 6? Yeah, I'd probably give season 2 or part 2 probably a 5. It came down quite a bit for me. The quality also kind of dipped down as well. I got a 5. It's still a good show. I think it's a unique concept in general. Darwin Incident. Darwin Incident starts good, but then it gets too preachy. It gets too preachy and tiresome. OMG, Little Witch Academia. She gets eaten, pooped out by a ghost. Did Hensei better than the Isekai? Is better than Isekai? Bacano is probably the first anime I've watched that doesn't have a multiple point of view as well. It's probably the first anime I've watched that does the multiple view. Okay, yeah, it does it well. I'm like, wait. It does it as well? Yeah, it does it very well. It does it very well. Jumps around quite a bit, though. Anyone who hasn't watched Fully Cooley? What about that? They're equal since both of them have Isaac and Maria. What's your overall opinion of Konosuba? I've been falling more and more out of love with it over time. I loved season 1. I did not like season 2. I loved the movie and the season 3. But yeah, season 2 was rough for me. I will say that season 3 was less funny than season 1, so I get a sense. I understand your feeling of it falling out of love with it. I don't think it's ever going to get to like the levels of hilarity that season 1 was, but at least season 3 was a step up for me, in my opinion. That one Incident, the monkey anime, yeah. What do you think of Fully Cooley sequels? I haven't watched them. I don't really want to watch them. I haven't heard that great things about them. That I'll leave Fully Cooley for being what it was back then. I don't necessarily think that I want to see a sequel. It's kind of one of those things where I think they did it because it's got name brand recognition to it, and it didn't need it. But again, I haven't watched it. I gave up on Darwin. It was too boring, though. More action was going to happen. Thought more action was going to happen. Yeah, I didn't really get a sense that it was going to be an action series. They're okay. It's not as good as season 1. Yeah. Just like Kimono Friends, Fully Cooley had one season. Yeah, just leave it back there, right? Just leave it back there, right? Those are like your Mushoku Tensei videos. I follow ones about what the anime left out and look forward to your commentary. Thank you, sir, for the hard work. Thank you so much, Shiny. Thank you so much for the support. I'm glad that you enjoyed the content. During like most Death Games series, is absolute slate. Like how someone, okay, we're talking about Darwin Incident, but not Darwin's game. If you're talking about Darwin's game, it's probably one of the better Death Game stories, but not like great, and it needs more sequels. Same with Fully Cooley. Only hear bad things about most people in the sequels. Yeah, I did not hear anything good. The movie was good. I don't have high hopes for it anymore. Yeah. Our dating story, the experienced you and the inexperienced me. That was an okay series. It was an okay series. It's probably like a 4. Like it was okay, an okay little cute series. Ray and the Seven Spells Blades. Oh my god, that guy. Ray and the Seven Spell Blades got a little bit hyped up, and it wasn't a lot. There was like a couple people in our community that were like, "Oh, this is a really good story." I love the novel series. There was quite a bit of positivity around the source material, and then I watched it and it was like, I think the world's interesting, but I think the way they transitioned into the main character being this edgelord and then never really playing off it very well. Like at some point I just like I checked out. Do you like Shibu Yugi, the death games to put food on the table? I liked the first episode. The rest of it was blah. I think it's got a huge problem with like making me care about anybody, and that's not good for a death game. At some point it was just like, I don't really care what happens, unfortunately. Directing was chef kiss, but like I just didn't care about anybody, unfortunately. Let's just say the completely fumbled Kimono Friends. I really loved it. Yeah, that first season was so good, dude. Not better than Batum. Can't remember how to spell it. I think that's exactly how to spell it, actually. Was a solid read. My brother really enjoyed Batum. I never watched the show, but yeah, I've heard good things about the novel or the source material. I found the concept of school letting the students dying is just stupid. You have to have like some crazy concept backing it up. But yeah, there was like this whole idea of like, if you don't use your spells right or whatever, it can literally kill you. So have fun, students. I love 7 Spellblades, but I dropped season 2 on the first episode. Wait, it was a season 2? That was a season 2? No, there's no season 2. It went on for 15 episodes, so maybe that's what you thought, that it was going to continue into another core. 4. 4 for me. I don't know. I think I kind of want to read it if I ever had time to, but like it's not a priority. This is literally nowhere in my priority list to go out and read it, but I would like to read it. But Tim is a manga. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Just recently started reading Mushoku Tensei light novels because your great content. Love your videos about skip content and light novel. Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate the kind words. January of this year for season 2? Why isn't it listed? They just don't have the info on this yet? Question mark? I'm confused. Anyways, it must be a side story or something like that. I don't know. Come here so I know there's lost a lot of, but someone mentioned Darwin's game and was great shoe with great waifu. Oh my god, dude, that chick with the red dress. She was the only reason I was watching the show. She legit was the only reason I was watching the show. The red dress girl, my gosh, dude. Absolutely love her design. Going for the goth Lolita kind of thing. Tim Peru was Garbo. I got like a 3. It's just dumb etchy. I mean, there was some story arcs in there that I did enjoy, but for the most part, just blah. Just blah. Innocent Shadow second season. If I remember correctly, I like season 2 a lot more than season 1. Because I think it gave a lot more focus on Shadow Garden, which I love. What did I give season 1? Did I even rank season 1 is question mark, I guess. Did I even rank season 1? Boof. A 5. I'm going to leave it at 5. I think even with the new season, I'll leave it at 5. I don't think it improved that much, but it's still kind of a... It's a for those who don't know, my big issue with Eminence and Shadows, I don't really care much for the main character. I find him to be repetitive with his humor. There's moments where he gets me. Don't get me wrong. There's moments where I get a laugh out of him. He gets a laugh out of me. But for the most part, I just don't really find the main character to be that entertaining. My love is Shadow Garden. I think the Shadow Garden part of it is great. I love the girls of the show. His harem has actually got, like, their storytelling is a lot better. I find their ability to sort of build up this conglomeration and whatnot in the background for him is where the good stuff is. And in a lot of cases, his interaction with them is really great. But him when he's alone, he's very boring. I do not find and again, it's a lot to do with the comedy. It just doesn't work for me. So, favorite character? Probably Delta. Probably Delta. But no, what was the other one? What was the other girl? What was the other girl? Epsilon, yeah. Epsilon. Either Delta or Epsilon. Probably Epsilon, though. Yeah, Enemies Shadows is Edgelord Daydream. Yeah, 100%. It's a cool concept. It is truly a good concept. Like, when I first seen it, I was actually kind of humored by it. The idea of an edgelord guy, super chuny guy that actually goes to another world and gains power, and now he's acting like a total edgelord. And there's a funny bit to it in the idea that he's so, like, disconnected with, like, his relationship with Shadow Garden. But at some point, it gets tiresome. It just gets tiresome at some point. Gina AI had a couple of stories, but for the most part, overall, it's not a great series. A lot of the stories are not amazing, but there's a few of them that I like. I especially love the story about the animation, the animator. So, like, if you guys don't want to watch anything Gene of AI and you like getting into AI stories, I still think the story about the animator is kind of like it's a very pointed story for today's standards for what we're going through right now with AI. But yeah, I'll be a bit of 4 too. Oh, great cleric, that was a thing. The girl I like forgot her glasses. It's cute, but repetitive. I think it's like a solid 5. It's like a solid 5. There's like an enjoyment just from the factor of it being kind of cute. That boy's way too much in his head, though. I think that was like my only big problem with that show, was that the guy is just so in his own head, and it's kind of annoying. I watched the Gene of AI, but I feel like I would. I didn't watch it, but I feel like I would like it. Yeah, it's a really cool look into like a future world. Like it's got some really like believable future tech with AI and stuff like that. Image Shadow knows what it is and it fully commits to it. Decent anime, 7 out of 10 for me. Yeah. Yeah, like how Shadow Garden twists everything and towards Sid planet. Yeah, there's again. That's the Shadow Garden side though, right? Like, I love when they're like, oh my gosh, Sasuga, Sido, and then he's over there's like whatever. I just wanted to go get something to eat, and this whole thing looked like it was fun. Damn, some of these shows only have one concept and build nothing more of it. Yeah. That's the sad truth of a lot of shows, and that's what's kind of difficult to kind of weed through a lot of it, is just realizing that some of the shows, some of the stories don't really have. They have like a hook, and that presented to the publishers is something that is appealing, but they're not something that they really plan forward thinking about. There's other series that do, and those are the knockouts. Those are like the the Ocean Echoes or whatever, where they had a concept they wanted to go for and they pre-planned it. Whether it pans out in the end, for some people it seems it didn't. It at least feels like every chapter there's something they're building towards. I know mine repetitive, but Gohan's has some problems with their male MCs looking at you handshakers. Well, again, Girl Who Forgot Her Glasses is not Gohan's story. That was an adaptation. Handshakers was an original from them, but Girl Who Forgot Her Glasses is not. That was somebody else's story. Just like Masterful Kaz Depressed Again Today was not a Gohan story. The best shows that really builds on a corn concepts is Rent a Girlfriend. Funny! That's a funny one. You're a funny man. What else? My gosh, I just seen a clip of Tengoku Daikumoko today. Oh my gosh, I was scrolling through my social media feed and somebody had it was the key arts or whatever of the scene where, God, how do they say this without spoiling things? It was a scene where the guy was on the roof with somebody else in his arms with a gun in his hand. If you know, you know. It was that scene. And I'm like, God, I forgot about this scene. You had to remind me, son of a... Oh god, that scene sucks so bad. Oh, it hurts. It hurts so freaking much, dude. I want more Heavenly Delusion. Heavenly Delusion was so good, dude. But apparently, I think they were pretty close to what the series had for source material. So it's like, when are we ever gonna get a season 2? But yeah, Heavenly Delusion is one of those situations where this person's got an interesting story planned out. Like, every episode, they're building towards something, and it's so good. That episode, yeah. That episode. When is the next Tengoku coming out? After No Game... Yeah, right. No. P. Fletcher, I see us getting many more seasons of Heavenly Delusions and never another season of No Game No Life. I think Heavenly Delusions did really well. So there was like an expectation that a season 2 was going to be announced. But again, there's nothing built. There's nothing to adapt. So they need to wait. It's not like Made in Abyss where they, I guess, had a lot kind of available to keep going. No news on another 86. No. The reveal was crazy. Yeah, it was sucked because you kind of had a sense it was there. You kind of had a sense of what direction it was going. And then when it happens, you're like, no, I hope that's not them. But I think it's them. Damn it. No. Oh my gosh. I recently rewatching Danger My Heart. My gosh, that show's so good, dude. It was so funny because when we back when Danger My Heart really took off, for those that weren't around when Danger My Heart first came out, season 1 of Danger My Heart, I think it was like 2023. When season 1 came out, the first few episodes, it wasn't really popular, and I honestly personally was like not really like totally sold on it. It felt like wish fulfillment. Like, Danger My Heart is like this edgy boy who's reading like edgy books, and at some point, he wants to really badly, take out his classmate who's this model, and it turns into this whole thing where the model suddenly is like always with him at the library, and it's like, oh, this is totally wish fulfillment. This is the outcast boy, and there's the hot girl of class, and for some reason she's interested in him. Wish fulfillment. But at some point, I always mention it's the episode 3 point. It just takes off. Like I always say the basketball to the face. That was the point in which the story takes off for me, and it never lets up. And the series has been like phenomenally getting better and better every single episode ever since then. Which is surprised that I haven't actually just gone out and read it. But again, that whole point that I had when I was trying to sell people on season 1, back when I was yelling at people, please go watch Danger My Heart when season 1 was coming out. I was like, this is an incredible show. Please, people, don't overlook this, especially since it was on High Dive. The thing I was telling everybody was that don't let episode 1 and 2 dissuade you. Keep watching. And it was a lot to do with the fact that I didn't feel like episode 1 and 2 had much to offer because it was just mostly, again, wish fulfillment. Rewatching it, I still love it. Like, rewatching, I'm like, I actually liked episode 1 and 2 more than I thought I would. It might be the fact that I just know the characters, and so rewatching it, it clicks more. But, like, I'm like, wow, I like how dorky it starts out. Like, I'm liking seeing Ichikawa back when it all started. So, again, I think it probably has a lot to do with just rewatching it, but... Edge of the Blu-ray for season 2 of Dangerous is out. Yeah. I think I got both of them. But I only buy season 1. I know I at least have season 1. I think it's over here. I don't know where it's at. I thought it was over here. It's probably somewhere else. I have it somewhere. You let episode 1 dissuade you? Give it 3. I'm sorry to say the whole, like, it gets good at, but, like, give at least 3 a shot. Is it on Netflix? Nice. More people should watch it. The fact that, like, it got snubbed on Crunchyroll Anime Awards was harsh. Because I loved it so much. Again, it's easily in my top 10 anime of all time. Like, it's easily the best Japanese romance anime I've ever watched. It's so good. Anyways, that's my random recent rediscovery of Danger My Heart that I've had. I'm loving rewatching it, though. With Made in Abyss, I'll probably also have to wait a long time for a new animated content after the movie. The mangaka only released like 10 chapters over the last 5 years. Yeah, it depends on how much they have available story-wise. Because in a lot of cases, what it is not necessarily that even if it catches up to the source material, it doesn't necessarily mean that there is not story to be told, or at least adapted, because in a lot of cases, they have the story written out already, they just haven't drawn it. Especially for mangas. Mangas, it takes a while because they have to draw it. So, watched 3 minutes, didn't like the MC, turned it off. Okay, that was just rate-based. Right? One Piece gets good after 1,000 episodes. Hang in there. You're almost there. You're almost to the good part. Just hang in there. Oh my gosh, I don't know. There's this side of me that with like long-running series that you almost wonder if it's more just Stockholm syndrome. Like they got to a certain point where they just can't put it down because they've invested so much time into it. I've had that before. Oh man. Let's see. What else do I want to update? Dogiza. Ganbare Doki-chan. That was actually a pretty decent show. Classroom of Elite. I don't know. Classroom of Elite. That season 2 was when I stopped watching this show, and I just did not like how a lot of stuff happened in that season. I just pretty much walked away from it. Why is Paranoia Agent a 10 and is a 9? Why is it a 10 and 9? I don't know. Why would it be two different numbers? Tadeka, you have to wait to get good. You have to wait for it to get good, or you have to wait to get good. Oh, look at Vermilion Gold. The show nobody cared about, but suddenly care about because the mangaka died. That's unfortunate. That's too young, dude. That is way too young for somebody to pass away. That kind of sucks. That really does suck. What else? My gosh, I may potentially get to a day where I have literally everything ranked and rated. Oh, okay. I'm like, there's special Captain Tyler. Okay, the movie. Okay, I'm getting confused now. Mugen training arc. Oh, Mugen train arc. Holy crap, brain. I like the Mugen train. I liked Mugen train. It was probably one of my favorite arcs. Like a 7? Like a 7? Visually, it's freaking amazing, but like story-wise, kind of brings it down a little bit for me. Love Vermilion. Yeah, some good ecchi. Some really good ecchi. Hey, Fur, how's it going? Welcome to stream. Hope you're doing well. I can't believe how big Classroom really is. Dude, it's got some massive popularity. Massive popularity. I just don't think it's a good adaptation. I've never really vibed with the adaptation. And I've heard nothing but bad things about its transfer to the adaptation. Sources do not like it, from what I've understood. The ending where the crow and the, was crying made me cringe instead of sad. Where the crow was crying made you cringe. They're the communicators. Come on. Parental Agent is amazing. Brought to the Australian DVDs. Well, I actually double, tripled make sure that said Australia, not Austria. DVDs because the US DVDs were way more. Well, the Yoshiwara arc. Been trying to catch up on Oshinoko these days. Is it just time? Is it a struggle for time? And a random question, because I forgot. Did you see Noir or Eat Man? Noir, yes, I believe. Eat Man, no, I don't think so. Eat Man does not sound familiar to me. Mugen Train had a great song. The Umai part? The Umai song? The Umai song? I've read Mishiko light novels, 14 and 16, 6 days. 6 days! Jeez, dude. Peak am. Excited for the rest of the season. Nice. It's good, dude. It's super good. Super good story arc. Nor good old girl with guns anime. If I remember correctly, that's some good art. If I remember correctly, that had some really good art. If I can spell correctly. Yeah. I remember some really good art for this one. I remember some really good art for this series. Let me see if I can find the one I'm thinking of. What was the art that I'm thinking of? Please? Can you just give me some artwork? Just noir anime. Unless I'm thinking of something else. I remember seeing some, like, some published artwork for this that was really good. The blonde chick. Like, especially the blonde chick. I'm not seeing it. So I might be misremembering. Those that know. We'll just say that. Umai, right? I freaking hated that part so much, dude. Oh, it's so obnoxious. Are you still watching the Lord of Mysteries and ReZero extra content? No, I'm behind on it. You see the cover with the dude that's called Bolt Crank, and he gets and he eats metal. The music was good, but used the main track. Did anyone know Tomb Raider's King is worth a watch? Never heard of it before. It's okay. It's okay. Like the only thing that was kind of really drawing me was more around there's a concept behind each of the artifacts that he's finding, and sort of a puzzle that he has to go through, and so he has to overcome it. It's sort of interesting. But in the end, it's kind of very soul leveling-ish. It's soul leveling, but all the weapons that he's running into have a story behind them. More. I wish I could filter to what's not ranked. Any list, make a button just for me that says only show not rated. Slime Season 2. That was like probably one of my favorite arcs. I'd probably get that like a 7. Like a 7. Evangelion 3.0 you could not redo. I kind of want to rewatch that one before I rate it. That's sort of one that I think I need to rewatch before I can rate it. There's a lot of Higurashis that I put in my list because I know I watched them. I need to rewatch them in order to rank them. I'm just happy when my feed gives me Mushoku Tensei previews. Nice. Just search on Jub. I guess I could, huh? Make sure I'm not on the... Make sure it's not on the screen. I mean, how do you specify... Oh, there's no more anime. There it is right there. Okay. Making sure it's not on my main screen. Oh, and then that the reflection doesn't hit you guys. Jeez, there's a lot of bad art on this. There's a lot of bad art on this freaking site, dude. It might be something else that I'm thinking of. There's still a lot of really good art, though. Not the one I'm thinking of, but there's a lot of really good art on there. You want to react to this week's Mushoku Tensei preview? No. I'm always very careful about what I put up on the screen. Sort by rating, and then unrated ones should be at the bottom. Yeah, I did that before. The only problem there is that it's like a lot of older stuff that I'm not really planning on rating because I haven't seen them in like forever, so I can't really rate them. Garo Vanishing Line. Holy crap, that takes me back. Garo Vanishing Line is good at times, but boring at other times. But it's still a good watch. I'd probably say that's a solid 5. That's like a solid 5. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would. Also, Full Dive was really good. What do you mean a 5? It started good. It started good, but no, not really. Hey, watch The Legend of Hay. I highly recommend it. No, I don't think so. So Andrew, Godzilla's Singularity Point was better than a 5. Yeah, the Singularity Point was okay. Was okay. Oh my gosh, Killing Bites. Killing Bites. I had a lot of fun with Killing Bites. But it's also really stupid. And its ending sucks, and we never got a second season. I think it's like a 4. It's like a 3 or 4. I almost want to give it a 3 because the ending sucks, but because it literally just opens up the next part. Citrus Garbo. Citrus Garbo. The original manga's art is amazing, but Citrus Garbo. It's like a 3. 8 or 7 for Killing Bites for me. Nice. I'm sad Danger My Heart's manga is ending in a month. I've been reading it for 7 years. The anime exceeded my expectations. Great direction, can only truly elevate the source material. Ushio's OST is fine. Dude, the musician behind Danger My Heart is amazing. That dude's a genius. He also did, if I remember correctly, that Witch anime here recently. It was really good music. He just nails it. Citrus isn't that bad. It's not that bad. It's just not as good as everything that's 4+ on my list. And it's not a 1. Merchant. My gosh, I don't even remember that show much of that show. And do you know the visuals of that show tank so bad, which sucks because the artwork's good. I do really like the artwork of Merchant. Rio's work is never done is it's okay. Rio's work is never done is okay. Maybe a 5. Maybe a 5. Why is Takashi Kashi a 5? I want to rewatch Takashi Kashi, honestly, because I obviously really like the author's other work, but Takashi Kashi itself, I did not care for. I loved the childhood friend of that show, but like for the most part, like the comedy and the whole candy stuff was kind of boring for me. Yeah, I like this chick right here. Yeah, for the most part, the show just didn't vibe with me. It didn't work for me. Kensuke Ushio's OST for Chainsaw Man, there is a arc and Journal with Witch. Yeah, Journal with Witch was the show I was talking about. Super good. 8 only for Mahatsukushi no Yome Criminal. Season 1 was just beautiful and everything. I want to go back and rewatch the series because I don't think I ever seen... I think I've seen the OVAs, but I don't think I watched anything beyond then. But I did like Season 1. I did like Season 1 a lot. Very beautiful world. Where's sequels? Yeah, I think I watched some of this, but I did not watch any of the Season 2. I didn't hear anything good about it either. Now I'm respecting your opinion, but is still shocking to me. Criminal Indeed and Ancient Magus Bride Season 1 is 10. Yeah, there was a few parts that were kind of okay, eh. There's a few parts that were a little eh. But it's really good though. 8 again. You have to realize an 8. You have to realize an 8 on my list is really good. I mean, we're going through a lot of 3s and a lot of 2s and a lot of 4s. We're going through a lot of stuff that's barely breaking 5, and then you get an 8, and now you're upset that it's an 8. Again, 8 is really big for me. 9 is really, really big for me. Mitsubishi Colors, by the way, is incredible. Go watch it. Mitsubishi Colors is like the goofiest little like random show that came out of nowhere for me. I loved it so much. These 3 are dorks. Yeah, again, I use the full spectrum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm not one of those people that's everything's a 10 or a 1. A lot of people, I think, unfortunately, a lot of people get stuck in the whole idea that everything has to be either a 10 out of 10 or it's garbo or it's 10, 5, or 1. A lot of people are either 10, 5, or 1. I have to use the whole entire thing. Because, again, I watched a lot of shows. In order for these to be distinct with each other, I have to use this entire freaking thing here. Ten is adios, non-existent. No, there's a lot of 10s in here, just not that loose with it. Unpopular opinion: Aiko was better than a 5, more like a 7 or 8. Yeah, Aiko Incarnation, I think starts really good. I actually really liked it. Visually, I liked it. The reason why Aiko falls apart for me is the ending. The later arc felt like it was extremely forced. Like, it had a really good concept, but it completely fumbled it. Like, everything building up to what they're doing initially was good. Going into, like, this contamination area and everything was good. But then the ending felt extremely forced. Like, we have to have a bad guy. Aiko Incarnation was literally one of those moments where I came to an aha moment of, like, please, authors, stop with this idea that you have to have a big bad. In the end, you don't have to have a villain character. Sometimes the world is the villain. Sometimes the world is the conflict. Sometimes ideology and people's like conflicts is the conflict. You do not have to have a some evil cackling bad guy. Stop. Stop it. You don't have to have that. And out of nowhere, like they go, nope, we're doing it. We're having a bad guy. And it felt so forced. And I'm like, you ruined it. You ruined what could have been a good, a good overall series. But it was good though. Like in the end, like again, five's decent. Five's decent. Mythbusters Cousin, unfortunately, is not illegally streaming in America. Where did I watch it originally? Is it just the license is gone, or I don't even remember where I watched it. Wasn't it on like, where was it? Was it on High Dive? Or was it on Amazon? Mitsubishi Color Streaming. It was originally licensed on High Dive. That makes sense because I think I have the Sentai Filmworks release, so that makes sense. Yeah. Rough, dude. They dropped it already. That's a bummer. Well, time to buy a Blu-ray. This is why we support physical sometimes. You gotta get that Blu-ray. You gotta get that Blu-ray. It's dorky. Yeah, like this. There's like this whole bit where like they buy this toy bazooka, and they go to the police box, and they literally they say they're gonna blow up the police box, and the police officer is like their antagonist character for the entire series. For some reason, they constantly is just terrorizing this police officer, and they go to this police box with this toy bazooka they bought from this store clerk guy, and they literally they talk with the guy for forever and threaten him to shoot him with a bazooka, and at some point the police officer starts to believe that it's true, that it's actually not a toy. They convince him that it's not a toy at some point. It's so freaking good, dude. It's so good. I enjoyed it though. It was a lot of fun. Oh, more season 1 of 86. A1, please. Yeah, good luck, unfortunately. I love that clip. Blew it with a nudity. Blew it? There's... What? What? What are we... There's no nudity in Mitsubishi Colors? What are we talking about? What else? The Junji Ito collection. There's some good ones in there. And unfortunately, the problem with Junji Ito collection is like there's so many good ones. What makes them choose these ones? I want to relook at that one before I rate it. I have a feeling I want to relook at it. Just Because was good. I enjoyed that one. Blendus was fun. I really enjoyed that one. Konohana Katan needs a sequel. I really liked Konohana Katan. There's a take that got me a lot of hate. The fact that I wasn't like... I didn't feel like Girls Last Tour was like a 10 out of 10. A lot of people got angry about that one. I wasn't as big of a... I liked it. I really like Girls Last Tour, but I'm not like... It wasn't like my anime of the year that year, like everybody else's. Junji Ito anime are more gross than scary. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the adaptation of Junji Ito stuff, they don't really nail the unsettling that he pulls off. Skip Beat, I wasn't super thrilled by Skip Beat, but I don't know that I can really give it a ranking right now. I don't remember it that much. It was kind of a fleeting show for me, unfortunately. Yeah, I remember the music for Girls Last Tour was good. Agree. It's like a 9.5 for me. Really loved it. Yeah. I think aesthetically they really pulled it off. The visuals of that show I really liked. Girls Last Tour was another one of those not streaming in America. Sad. That was an Amazon, right? That was an Amazon one, right? Or was that Sentai Filmworks again? Just got the Blu. I would probably want to buy the Blu-ray of that. High Dive again. That was an Amazon. Yeah, I want to say it was Amazon. Amazon sounds familiar for that one. What else? What else? What else? Shobi. Sister's All You Need. Blah, blah, blah. Ninja Nonsense. There's the Ufotable before Ufotable was insane. For all those that watch Demon Slayer and how incredibly animated that is, this is where they started. This is the early moments of comedy. Is Ninja Nonsense. It's an okay series. Like it's not great, but I do have some fond memories of it back in the day. Probably like a 5. And like a 4. It's like a 4. I'll get a 4. I'll have a 4. It's not always hitting when it hits. Yeah, here's the example earlier I was talking about. Kill la Kill 7. Like it's not a. I'm not a huge hyper fan of Kill la Kill, and that gets me a lot of heat. How dare you speak negatively about Kill la Kill? How dare you? Now, it was great because we had, like, for the longest time, it was an ongoing joke with our podcast is that I had never finished it, and I kept saying that I was going to finish it. And then I finally finished it, and I said that I was going to make a review of it. And at some point, people were wanting a review of it so badly. By the time I finally did a review of it, I'm like, this is never going to live up to your guys' expectations. Like, you guys so badly want me to release this review for Kill la Kill, it's never going to be up to your guys' standards. Like, there was so much hype for me to review that thing, and then it just happens. Let's see. High School DxD Born, I don't even remember. Like, dude, all of High School DxD mushes together for me. Like, them as a whole, I probably am, like, in an area of, like, a 3 or a 4. Like, I'm not, like, a big fan of High School DxD. It's fine. So, Amazon on Anime Strike, but Sentai and physical releases, so later it's streamed on High Dive, such as Made in Abyss. Yeah, that's right. A lot of what was on Amazon, for especially Anime Strike, eventually ends up with Sentai. Andrew, can you tell why Utena is a 5? Extremely repetitive. I think it for a lot of people is sort of like some sort of cornerstone of like Yuri and stuff like that, and they want to, and it's for a lot of people believed to be some sort of like art, and people think that the author is incredible. I find the author to be extremely repetitive. Every single thing that I've watched of his, I find every single one of them repetitive. He has a habit of trying to beat you over the head over and over again with the same concept and the same routine, and I don't like it. I personally, unfortunately, do not click with his works. I've tried literally everything of his stuff, and none of it works for me. Even Yuri Bears didn't work for me. Yeah. Yukimi Arashi didn't work for me. I have not watched Penguin Drum yet. Sarazamai didn't work for me either. I don't vibe with his storytelling. I legit thought Kill la Kill and Akame ga Kill were the same author for some reason. I mean, they both have a kill in there. Has been highly praised. Interesting to see what it is. Yeah, I recently watched Utena, and maybe that's probably why I struggled so much. I like certain parts of it. I think the whole like the Ojo-sama in that one was really hilarious, but like its story was not. It didn't work for me. Hey, Gamon. Or Gamoth guy. Welcome. Yukima Arashi, shake my head. What's your top 3 anime of all time? It varies depending on what I'm ranking for it. Like, again, Shogun, Roku, Raku Shinju, Evangelion, this series of... I'm blanking right now, I'm sorry. Let me bring up the list again. Make me have to, like, off the top of my head, remember what's all in my top area here. Even though I've said them a million times and I should be good at it right now. Bungo Stray Dogs. What else? To go past the current watching stuff. Recently, Danger My Heart has entered in that list. Yeah, these are all my 10s right here. What I think of Vending Machine anime, I didn't really care much for this first season, and I hadn't watched the follow-up seasons. I think Penguin Drum has a light novel and is based on a real event, so... Well, real events don't really make or break something for me. Or add anything to it for me. But I do want to watch Penguin Drum. I'm hoping that Penguin Drum works for me, because everything else has not worked for me for him, unfortunately. Because again, my biggest issue that I have with that author is they're repetitive. They keep showing the same stuff over and over and over and over and over again. Like, it's almost like they want to drill something in your head. It's almost like they have a fascination with, like, magical girl transformations. So that every episode they have to do, like, a magical girl transformation for, like, long periods of time. And it's like, you don't have to do this. What is the point of doing this over and over again? Well, it's personally Utena too, and it still could see why it was good. Yeah. Unfortunately, not for me. Can you sell me on Clannad and what it is? Well, Clannad is, of course, based off of a visual novel where you choose a specific girl and pursue them and learn about their story and their struggles, ultimately leading to, in the original visual novel, it was a combination of all these memories to lead to an outcome. Not to get into spoilers of what that outcome is, but you do these in order to unlock these sort of gems to get to this final outcome. Basically unlock this door. And so what the anime did, which I think was very clever, was, and this was during a time where there was a lot of visual novel adaptations where either they chose to have resets happen, where the main character would pursue somebody before an episode would open up and it feels like nothing happened again, and then they would pursue the next girl, or they would just do a very terrible job of telling every single one of the girls' stories, despite the fact that they aren't pursuing them. Clannad did a good job of that. Clannad did a really good job of giving you a very, not the entirety of each of the arcs, but each one of these individual girls tell their story, what their arc is, what they're going through, what they're struggling with, and ultimately leading into Clannad After Story, which is where the story goes down the Nagisa route. I think her name was Nagisa. Goes down one girl's route to pursue them and tell their entire story, and again, the after story. Why it works so well for me is, yes, while the art style is not appealing to a lot of people these days because of the big eyes, I think it's very gorgeous because it's obviously Kyoto Animation. Kyoto Animation does incredible artwork. The backgrounds are incredible. I didn't like it at first, but I do like the character designs now. The personalities are excellent. The voice acting is phenomenal. And the main core thing that drew me the most to Clannad overall was the main character is funny. The main character is actually funny. A lot of these stories, most of the appeal is the girls and their waifus and choosing who's the best waifu, and their personality is what the appeal is. This one, the main character is great. Like, the main character is funny as hell. Like, he just loves to mess with these girls, tease them, crack jokes at them. He's got a great personality overall that kind of carries it. And his buddy's good too. He's got a friend that's an absolute dork as well. But yeah, it was one of the very first like big like harem anime stories that really worked for me. I really liked it. It's not actually a harem. Again, he doesn't really necessarily pursue them all, and they don't all pursue him, but it is a big group of girls. What I think of 100 Girlfriends, I really love season 1. It's incredible. Season 2 and 3 are have their moments, but unfortunately they're not as good as season 1. I don't know that the author's good at dealing with a lot of characters. The Wild Last Boss season 2 on your radar? Yes, I do like season 1 a lot. I think you can get a sense of barely from I think you can get a sense barely from episode 1. Recently watched Utena 2 to see why it was good. You get a sense from episode 1. Repetitive has its meanings, to be honest, but it's also a product of time. Yeah. Again, I kind of acknowledge there's probably a reason he's doing that, and it's to kind of beat it into your head, but it makes me feel like the author thinks I'm stupid. And if you can't get your point across without doing that, I don't want to watch it. Yuriko Marashi was the biggest one that I struggled so much with it because I love the aesthetic of Yuriko Marashi. I think it's amazing. And I think that there was a cool concept there with almost like a... If I remember correctly, it was getting into a lot into like societal choices and groupthink. If that's the... I don't really... It's probably the best way to put it. I'm blanking on what the best word... Basically, people as a group sort of making decisions. And again, they kept having to show it over and over again. It's like this whole process of like this jury of people. And at some point, I kind of check out. At some point, I just kind of check out. Like, either you think I'm really stupid or you just don't want to get to the point. And maybe I'm stupid. Wouldn't be the first time I've been called it. How dare you enjoy Clannad? Your Kuma ending was very a debated opinion. Yeah. Again, I just at some point realized I'm just not his audience. I'm not his target audience, and I probably never be his target audience. I'll be over here enjoying my other shows. But that one, his stuff, is just no, unfortunately. Did I just lose my... Did going down that rabbit hole mess up my position in the list? I think it did. That's fine, though. I probably should wrap it up here soon. We need more case study of Vanitas, too. There's another one we need another season of. Oh my gosh, I missed that series. What do you think of Hawari no Seraph? I think the first season, well, has its issues. I really started to enjoy it at some point, and then the ending of the first season ticked me off because my girl Crew Tepis is in trouble, and they decide not to do another season. Like, my girl Crew Tepis is like in a bad position, and they're like, we're done. We're no season 2. My brother went off and read the manga. I was thinking about doing it too. But I think it's got a cool concept to it. Alessandra, yes, does know to deal with a lot of characters in 100 Girlfriends. It is the anime production who can't deal with it. Yeah, it feels like they're kind of reorganizing things, and I would assume the production team has all made a decision on there, not necessarily probably the entirety of the studio that's made that decision. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's probably the production team that's decided that. I hope it works out. I hope it works out for them because it's kind of messing with me right now, my enjoyment. They did a little bit of that in season 2 where they kind of introduced some characters early so they can include them into the jokes of, later stuff or earlier stuff rather. So I hope it's worth it in the end for moving stuff around because it's kind of ruining it. And I don't think the author immediately thought is the author thinks and I'm stupid. I thought Vanitas manga was canceled or something. Nah, just moving an absolute snail's pace. Yeah, I think that was what I heard. Like, we immediately thought the author is thinking I am stupid. Okay, I'm stopping. No, he makes me feel like he thinks I'm stupid. I'm not saying he thinks you're stupid. That's you're trying to pull something of an insult out of there and it's not there. I feel like he thinks I'm stupid. If you don't feel stupid watching it, then he probably is not going for that for you. I'm pretty sure they're swapping the order to Last Girlfriends this season. Yeah, I was pretty sure that we've seen everybody, but then I looked back at the key art and it looked like there was like 2 more characters. I just don't think they've shown them yet in the first episode like they did the other ones. One Day 100 Girlfriends will need to pay like 50 actors to do the voices. I mean, it's not crazy, right? But it's not crazy. I mean, if you look at, that was like the whole joke that they made when Bleach came back. When Bleach came back, there was like this big statement that a lot of people were making that all the voice actors were like being taken up by Bleach, which is dumb because honestly, a lot of the characters aren't making that many lines. They can literally go into the studio for like 2 seconds and be into the next studio, or go into the same studio for multiple works and then just record 1 line for Bleach. But still, Bleach has a massive, massive cast list. The manga for Seraph at the end, I think, ends soon. I thought I read something about that. I don't know, you must be remembering. Yeah, there's a lot of series, especially shonens. A lot of series has a lot of voice actors. Nope, it hasn't. No, I don't think it ended. I thought they were talking about it coming to an end. Seraph. Seraph the End is officially coming to an end. The afterword of Volume 36 confirmed the Dark Fantasy series will conclude with 37th volume. So soon. According to Google, it will end soon. I thought Vanitas manga was canceled or something. Oh, that's what I was gonna look up. thanks for rereading that because I want to check that one. Case study. Yeah, Vanitas has covered at least 54 chapters. And that second part was so good, dude. That second part was so damn good. It was so funny because I remember when we watched the first part, I was like a little bit thrown off of where they stopped it at. It was like a weird episode, kind of, if I remember correctly. But then when they come back for the second part, I was like, oh, now it makes sense because holy crap, when the second part hits, it's like, holy crap, this show is so freaking good, dude. What is going on right now? Like, crap hits the fan literally, and not really literally, but stuff hits the fan very quickly. So how many chapters do they currently have? They only have 64 chapters, around 64 chapters. Yeah, they that is snail's pace, dude. That is insanely snail's pace right there, if that's the case. Wow, dude. That's crazy how slow that's going. So you only have like what, another 10 chapters after the anime. Like if you wanted to go read it right now, you only get another 10 chapters. I mean, take your time. I don't know if the art's like insanely good that it takes them a long time, but yeah, take your time. I don't want you to get overworked. We always talk about overworking mangakas and stuff like that. I don't want to overwork them, but damn, that's slow. That is way slow. Anyways. All right, folks. Chat. I'm gonna call it, chat. It was a good discussion, like always. Always enjoy coming on here and chatting with people, talking about everything. I think I hit all the the bullet points that I had for today's stream. But I really do appreciate you guys coming by and saying hi. My gosh, Oyster coming at the last second. You jump in here at the last second, love. You're like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm gonna call it for now. I'm gonna call it a day. Get some rest. But I appreciate you guys dropping in and chatting with me. It was a lot of fun, as always. Even though I get yelled at for my takes on apparently Utena. I'm supposed to like Utena. I don't like Utena. But I do appreciate you guys for dropping in. It was a lot of fun. Just got home. Get home and get some rest. Yeah, I had a good stream. It was a lot of good talk. Got a lot of good talk. But anyways, again, I thank you guys for dropping in. And y'all have a good one. Utena. It's Utena. Y'all take care.
ありがとうございます、先輩。